everybody. Good Friday evening to you. Welcome to VypeFortBend.com coverage of Fort Bend County sports. Roger Smith with you, and tonight's first Friday night of the season features the Bush Broncos taking on the Hightower Hurricanes, and great to be joined for the first time tonight by my new partner, at least on Friday nights, Bryant DeBuffet. Welcome in, Bryant. Glad to have you here sharing your expertise on this game.
I am excited to be here, Roger. I'm very excited. I haven't been here since, it's been a long time, Former Elkins night. And, I look forward to watching the game. I look forward to seeing what these young guys have in store. Hope they keep us entertained.
And you know what? I know that you played quite a few football games beyond just performing for the Elkins Knights. So we're looking forward to you kind of dissecting what happens on the field tonight. I think we come into this game. Bush is a little bit of an underdog, not an overwhelming one, I should say. Right. But Hightower is probably expected to win on this occasion.
Absolutely, And as you mentioned before as well, I'm looking really forward to the defense at Bush, especially number 21. What was
D'Antonio Hackworth.
D'Antonio Hackworth, The coach is raving about his ability to shut down these wide receivers, and me being a former cornerback, I can't wait to see what he's going to showcase us tonight.
All right, we're going to hear from both coaches as we bring you the Countdown to Kickoff show, and that'll come your way right after this. Fort Bend County High School Sports on VypeFortBend.com is brought to you this evening by Xfinity, the future of awesome, by Nick's Italian Restaurant on FM 1464 in Sugar Land, just north of Austin High School. At Nick's, their family gets bigger every time you stop by. By First Tyrant Automotive, with 4 great locations, including Katy Cinco Ranch, open Monday through Saturday. Visit FirstTyrantAuto.com. By Archer Volkswagen, 10,400 Southwest Freeway, just inside the Sam Houston Tollway. And as it's been since Robert P. Archer founded it in 1956, Archer Volkswagen is still family-owned and operated, and you'll feel like family when you're there. By the Needville Insurance Agency, Bradley Stavanaugh and his team are your hometown trusted agents. They'll shop around to get you the best rate and make insurance easy for you. Call the Needville Insurance Agency at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. And by Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace in Sugar Land, helping us take care of business every day so we can bring you the action on VypeFortBend.com every week. We'll be right back.
Get ready. Saving starts with Xfinity. Because when you get Xfinity Internet and mobile together, you can save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill over AT&T. Enjoy fast, reliable internet at home and nationwide 5G on the go, included at no extra cost. That means you can connect to everything you love, whether you're a next-level gaming aficionado, an online shopping mastermind, or crushing that research project. So go ahead, stream on all your devices or video chat from anywhere and save hundreds while doing it, because saving starts with Xfinity. Get Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile and ask how to get an eligible 5G phone on us. And for a limited time, $300 back. Don't miss out. Go to Xfinity.com/start saving. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Internet offer ends 9/30/21 and requires paperless billing and autopay. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Savings based on optimized pricing. Actual savings may vary.
Welcome to the Countdown to Kickoff show. It's our first Friday night of the new football season. The Bush Broncos taking on the Hightower Hurricanes. And Alan Aldridge, head coach of the Bush Broncos, you told me a few days ago that there's going to be a lot of pounding of the rock to your offensive attack. And what's going to make that go?
Our offensive line. We're going to go and do as much as we can do as long as they can stay consistent and be strong. And, really on both sides. Offensive line, defensive line are definitely going to control this game.
Well, when I cover a game like this between head coaches who both played professional football, I'm a little bit starstruck. I'm one of these mere mortals who never could have made it in the NFL. But, what are some of the war stories that maybe you and Coach Cornelius Anthony have shared?
A lot of training camp stories, be the biggest thing, and just the intensity of the game, and how much, really how much we've learned as coaches. We would have known what we know right now. It would have helped us out definitely, back then.
Any of those training camp stories involve breaking curfew and maybe getting away with it?
No. We didn't do. Definitely, I know Cornelius didn't do it, and I definitely didn't do it. It was all about sleep.
All right. Well. So you're a Boy Scout. I get it. I understand. Right. Okay, so on defense, you also have some people who can strike you and hurt the other team, clean hit, but, right. Make sure that they know you're there. So who are the guys that you count on the most on defense?
Defensively, we're going to count on our returning defensive end, Cozy. He's a speedster, great defensive end for us. He's really like an outside linebacker. We have two linebackers in Brandon Chambers and Preston Davis that are going to run from sideline to sideline. That's what we expect them to do. And we, expect the D-line to take up those positions as far as offensive line, take up those blocks so they're able to run. Then on the back end, we have Paul Amortia at free safety, and then we have our corner, D'Antonio Hackworth, that we call him the shutdown number one corner, the shutdown corner. So we're going to depend a lot on him as far as coverages are concerned.
And Chambers, as I recall, he's old number 55, am I right?
He's 44.
44.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Now that I think about it, if it had been a multiple choice question, I would have got it.
Exactly.
All right, thank you very much, Coach Aldridge. Great to talk to you always, and good luck tonight against the Hurricanes here on their turf, even though you're the home team.
It's crazy, but thank you.
All right, we'll be back ready to talk to Cornelius Anthony when we continue on the Countdown to Kickoff show right after this on VypeFortBend.com.
You remember their first steps, first time they rode a bike without training wheels, first school dance, and now first year they're driving to school. First Tire and Auto is a family business, and they remember all those firsts too. There's a store just minutes away from your house or the school, so be the first to claim your discounts on oil changes and more. Head to the website firsttireandauto.com. First Tire and Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
Welcome back to the Countdown to Kickoff show at Hall Stadium. Hightower and Bush doing battle, set to kick off at 7 o'clock. And here to introduce himself and the rest of our officiating crew is our referee.
Hi, I'm Mark Miller. Our umpire tonight is Pete Carmouche. Our head linesman is Gary Caraway. Our head line judge is George Duplessis III. Our side judge is Sebastian Ray. Our field judge is Larry Turner. And our back judge is Kevin Brown.
All right, thank you, Mr. Miller. Appreciate it very much, and I think maybe we'll have a little cooler night than we had here at Hall last night when Marshall was taking on Aldine Eisenhower. By the way, we want to remind you that tomorrow night, with a 6 o'clock kickoff, we're going to have Dulles and Kempner for you from right here at Hall on VypeFortBend.com. We'll continue and talk to Cornelius Anthony, the head coach of the Hurricanes, when we return on VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
We welcome you back to the Countdown to Kickoff show. It's Friday night, the first Friday night of the season, and we're getting you ready for Hightower against Bush right here at Hall Stadium. Time to talk to Cornelius Anthony, coaching his first game as the head coach of the Hurricanes. Prior to that, he was the head coach of the Rosenberg Terry Rangers. First of all, welcome in, and what kind of week of work have you had since I last talked to you after that Travis scrimmage?
Well, we did a lot of cleaning up, a lot of fine-tuning, a lot of play polishing, and we had a great week this week, and I'm excited to see what the guys are going to do when we put it all together.
Now, I see that Bush is the home team, and I'm going to assume that if Mercer Stadium didn't have so many problems, that this game would be up in Sugar Land, but it's down here in Missouri City. Is it a little bit strange? I know you've coached on this sideline before, but is it a little bit strange to be the home team and be over here?
Yeah, no, I mean, whenever we're at Hall, regardless of the color of jersey, we feel like it's a home game for us. So I'm actually glad that we're at Hall, regardless that we have the white jerseys on, because for us it's still a home game.
Well, I know it's going to take a team effort to get the victory tonight, but you have a talented team. There's no one on your team that's more talented than Caleb Douglas. Give me a couple of ideas of things that you can do to make sure he gets the ball in his hands and can do what he does so well.
Well, with a guy that is as talented as Caleb, you just got to make sure that you have plays scripted for him, and he's going to deliver. And so you don't get the self-proclaimed payday Douglas by not being able to deliver. So we just got to make sure we get him the ball, and we will.
Well, last week when I was talking to Coach Aldridge, he said the thing that they expect to do the most of is pound the rock. So I guess that means you're going to put a lot of fellas in the box. Am I right?
Yeah, they have a great run game. They have some big, physical, tough, strong, and fast backs, a big physical offensive line, aggressive offensive line. And so, that's just they're a hard-hat team, and they're modeled after their coach. It's a guy who played center at Willow Ridge back in the day, and inside Mike linebacker, professionally for the Broncos. So that's just the type. You got to bring your lunch pail against old AA, because he's gonna find a way to ground and pound, so to speak.
All right, Cornelius Anthony, welcome back to Fort Bend ISD. We thought you'd never get back here, but it's great to have you as the coach of the Hurricanes, and look forward to seeing you as the season wears on.
Thank you so much. Glad to be back home.
All right, Roger Smith along with Bryant Nabuffet, we will bring you the play-by-play. Be right back with you with the kickoff right after this on VypeFortBend.com.
We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max.
Taking care of business.
Get ready. Saving starts with Xfinity. Because when you get Xfinity Internet and mobile together, you can save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill over AT&T. Enjoy fast, reliable internet at home and nationwide 5G on the go, included at no extra cost. That means you can connect to everything you love, whether you're a next-level gaming aficionado, an online shopping mastermind, or crushing that research project. So go ahead, stream on all your devices or video chat from anywhere and save hundreds while doing it, because saving starts with Xfinity. Get Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile and ask how to get an eligible 5G phone on us. And for a limited time, $300 back. Don't miss out. Go to Xfinity.com/start saving. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Internet offer ends 9/30/21 and requires paperless billing and autopay. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Savings based on optimized pricing. Actual savings may vary.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
You remember their first steps. First time they rode a bike without training wheels, first school dance, and now first year they're driving to school. First Tire and Auto is a family business, and they remember all those firsts too. There's a store just minutes away from your house or the school, so be the first to claim your discounts on oil changes and more. Head to the website firsttireandauto.com. First Tire and Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
All right, the fans on their feet and ready to kick this one off as it's the Bush Broncos, a long way from their basic home field, Mercer Stadium. But, folks, in case you were unaware, Mercer Stadium is not going to be used this year at all.
Oh, wow.
It's just not, and it's going to take too long to repair it to, play football games in it. So everything's going to happen at Hall, and there are going to be a few times where Fort Bend teams will borrow another stadium. But, all right, let's just pay attention to this one. Bryant, we're going to see the captains come to the middle of the field, and we know those captains are always important. But what's important, do you think, in this game tonight? And victory is important, I know, but there's also other things you want to refine your offense, improve your execution, and be ready when district games come around.
Right. Bush, I guess you could see Bush today as the underdogs, right? And Cornelius spoke highly of his team, Hightower, young guys, studs. He's really expecting explosive offense this game, and the key to victories for Bush.
Oh, yes. By the way, we like to tell you that it is time now for the Archer Volkswagen Keys to Victory, brought to you by Bryant Nabufi.
All right. I think the key to victory for Bush is going to be they got to establish the run game, obviously. They got to be physical with the run game. And most importantly, because of this young, talented offense that Hightower will display today, they have to be sound on defense. And also, I look forward to D'Antonio Hathworth. The coach is highly, highly raving on this young man, and he has to have an outstanding game, especially going against Caleb Douglas. So we'll see how this goes.
All right, now here's something interesting, Bryant. Hightower won the toss, and by the way, they are the visiting team, even though their school building is just a few hundred feet away from Hall Stadium.
Right.
So they are the visiting team. They won the toss. They deferred, so Bush got the opportunity to have the ball first, but they chose to kick. Bush is going to kick, and they will kick from what I believe is the south end of Hall Stadium, although I'm a little bit directionally challenged. I'm not really sure exactly which direction, but there at the field house end is where Bush will defend in this first quarter. By the way, how about I check the temperature so we can feel even warmer than we actually are? How about that, Brian?
Yeah, you know what? It's a great breeze,
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's 86 degrees.
Yeah, it's not too bad, it's not as bad as it was about a couple of weeks ago, when it was almost hitting 100. So it's a beautiful breeze. It's a great day for football.
And we've got a little bit of cloud cover.
Right.
Now, just cross your fingers that we don't have a lightning delay like we did last night.
Oh.
Okay, well, evidently the referee, Mark Miller, made a mistake. He kicked.
Oh.
He made it look like Bush was going to kick the ball, but no, Bush is going to receive, which is what you would expect them to do. And one of the guys back to return it is D'Antonio Hackworth.
This is a very important drive for Bush. You know they're going to come out here and establish the run game. Let's see how that goes.
Also, I believe that's Bryce McDonald on the other side. Correction, no, it's actually Michael Omodia, one of the wide receivers. So you got a DB and a wide receiver, each of them standing on their respective hash marks. Okay. Now it's kind of like nobody knows exactly what we're going to do first. Now the teams switch ends. Suddenly the Hightower kicker moved his tee to the opposite 40-yard line and told the Bush guys to go, to the north end. So it'll be Bush going from left to right, that is going toward the big field house here at Hall Stadium.
I wonder what made that happen.
I don't know. So I saw the referee kick when it looked like he was saying Bush was going to kick. I guess what he did was he indicated that Hightower would kick from the south end, but he didn't turn the players around.
Right. Okay, they got everything straightened out now, so it's time for some football.
And Cameron Bradford, who's a linebacker for the Hightower Hurricanes, is going to kick it off. They're wearing their white jerseys, the road jerseys, and they have black pants with no stripes and black helmets this year. And it's a low kickoff, and it bounces once, and it's picked up by number 14. That's Michael Omodia, and he takes it across the 30 to the 34-yard line, and that's where Bush will go on offense for the first time. We don't expect them to throw it a lot.
No, we definitely don't expect that. And I guess we can guess the first play would be a run.
Yeah, I would guess, unless, of course, maybe Coach Aldridge wants to kind of cross him up, maybe a little play-action pass, and maybe they'll throw it deep. Who knows? But if they do throw it deep, it is going to be Tyler Hilder at quarterback. Got quite a bit of experience last year. Nelvins Borgella is the running back behind him, and it's a delay play right up the middle. There goes Borgella, twisting and turning, and he picks up about 6 yards right over left guard. Brought down on the play by Hightower's Traylon Baloney.
Powerful run as well, too. Right up the A-gap.
So we have a fine surface here at Hall Stadium. It's field turf, but it is not brand new field turf like you will have over at Mercer Stadium when it's open for football games again.
It's a lot better than when I was out here playing, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. The fuzzy concrete. Hilder calls for the snap, turns around and hands it off to Borgella, tries the right side, hit early, and fights, and maybe he picked up a yard. If so, that's all he got. And coming up from the bottom of the pile, looking pretty happy with himself, Braylon Kizzy makes the tackle. Just a 5'7" linebacker, but he hits like a fire hydrant.
That's a sound play by Hightower.
Yeah, they do have a lot of bulk up front. You can see it from here. Kai Shun Smith, their defensive end. He is tough over on the left side.
And they're expecting a run. They're stacking the box.
Third and short, same formation as before. Borgella right behind Hilder. Takes the snap, gives to Borgella, running left, turning it up, got the first down. Hammered across to the 47, and that will move the sticks. It's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. You're going to be hearing that a lot, Brian.
Absolutely.
We love First Tire and Automotive. And Bush is going to the huddle, something you don't see that much in the 21st century, but they're taking their time here.
From this team, you will see it, right? A lot. I will expect it will happen with them a lot.
Two receivers to the left of the formation. Bush going left to right, and the ball is on their left hash mark. Turn around, give to a new running back. Borgella had gotten all the carries before, but this time they got it in the hands of Donovan Nixon. He's been a 3-year either starter or play-a-lot guy for Bush.
And it was almost a mishap right there.
Yeah, they did kind of run into each other. And it's only a 2-yard pickup. The ball now at the 49-yard line. Last night, by the way, we had the game between the Marshall Buffs and Aldine Eisenhower, and Marshall won that one 68-34.
Wow. Somebody's offense was on fire that day, huh?
All right, Hilder. And he's got Nixon behind him again. Claps his hands together. Turns around and hands it off. Nixon loses the football. It's loose in the scrum. And the Hightower Hurricanes say they have it, but no indication from the officials yet. And it looks like one of the big old up front blockers for the Bush Broncos saved the day for his team. And Brian, help me out. See if we can figure out who gets off the bottom of the pile.
It looks like Hightower has the ball. Hightower has the ball. That's a huge turnover.
Well, the Broncos players are still pointing. Actually, the officials pointed the wrong way, and that's why you said Hightower ball. They indicated that it's Hightower ball, but it's not. And it ends up being a 2-yard gain, and it's 2nd down and 8. And we're going to see a pass. Hilder drops back. He's hit. The ball tipped and knocked down, incomplete. And coming in on him hard was Skylar Robinson. He was coming off the corner on a blitz. And I guess that was 3rd down, not 2nd down. So it is time for the Bush Broncos to punt.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell if that was a screen or he was just trying to check it down, but it looked a little bit awkward.
Jedediah Aduna is going to punt for the Broncos. And you got 2 safeties deep for the Hightower Hurricanes.
No, this is unique. Well, got 2 returners back there.
And a whistle prior to the snap. Did you see a flag?
I did not.
I think it's a timeout, and it is a timeout taken by Hightower. We'll take it with them. This is VypeFortBend.com. No score. We're in the first quarter.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
All right, here comes Hightower returning the punt. And across the 25 to the 30 near the far sideline, a big return across the 40. That was Jalen Mendez, a defensive back, who was one of those 2 safeties back waiting for the punt. And it's a great return, and Hightower, with its first offensive possession of the season, gets really good field position.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see what this Hightower offense is going to do today.
Well, one of the focal points is always going to be Caleb Douglas, and he is split out on the left side. There are 3 receivers on the left side of the formation. And it's Kendron Penson Jr. as the quarterback throws a quick hitch pass, and that's going to be good yardage and close to a first down at the 45-yard line of Bush as he got it out there to Caleb Johnson. You got 2 great Calebs, Caleb with a K, Johnson, and Caleb with a C, Douglas.
And you can see earlier as well, too, Roger, D'Antonio on Caleb. So it seemed like they're matching each other. They're putting their best guy on defense with Hightower, best guy from offense.
There's the snap and a fake and a keep by the quarterback, but he's going nowhere as Kendron Penson goes down in the backfield in the arms of Brandon Chambers.
Yeah, great play by Bush.
Actually,
sound defense.
I'm sorry. I think I gave wrong credit. The tackle actually Devin Johnson rather than Brandon Chambers. But Chambers will get his share. And that was a 4-yard loss. Second down and 14 from the 49-yard line of Bush. And a quick pass to the near sideline caught by Caleb Douglas. A nice secure tackle by that man, the shutdown corner, Mr. D'Antonio Hackworth. But it's a pickup of, I'm going to call it 9, and it'll be 3rd down and 5 to go.
This is going to be a battle we're going to enjoy all night.
Penson moving the pieces around. Now he lofts it down the near sideline, a little high for Caleb Douglas. And it was good defense by Hackworth, but the pass just a little off target. And now decision time, 4th and 5. The ball is at the 40-yard line. Brian, what would you do?
You know what? I guess it wouldn't matter what I do because Hightower is actually coming to punt it, or are they changing personnel?
Well, they are lining up in a punt formation, but guess who's possibly going to punt it? Caleb Douglas.
Oh.
Well, a guy like him, he could just pull it down and run for the first down. He only needs 5 yards. Granted, he is lined up 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but very tough to tackle him in the open field, so he would get a head start.
Let's see what happens.
And it's a pretty decent snap, and he punts with his left foot, and it lands inside the 10 and rolls into the end zone. He was kind of hoping for a little left turn bounce,
right,
and that would have been the old coffin corner, but it went into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. By the way, tonight's Family Connection, served up by Nick's Italian Restaurant, is, well, it's a pretty obvious one. You've got Alan Aldridge. He's got his son Alan Aldridge III on the team, and there's another family connection. As Victoria Aldridge, his daughter, is one of the managers on the Bush sideline. So just remember, Nick's Italian Restaurant, their family gets bigger every time you stop by. So it is Hilder back in at quarterback. Turns around and gives it off straight up the middle, and nice little run there by Borgella. Shaken and bacon, runs out of bounds on the near side at the 31-yard line, and that's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
And right there, Hightower just lost contain.
So we shouldn't be too surprised. We've got no score as we near the midway point of the first quarter. These are two pretty rugged defenses, and there's a good chance we may see zeros up there for a little while before they make some adjustments.
And a lot of clock drain as well.
There is a give off the left side, and just not much there as they get the ball to, that is Borgella again. By the way, Hilder, he's fine, but did you notice after he handed the ball off, it looked like his foot kind of stuck in the field turf or something, just fell down.
Yeah.
Looked like Peyton Manning when he knew he's about to get sacked and it was only second down. He used to just give it up.
I think he seems a little bit more athletic than Peyton Manning, but.
Oh, yes. I'm not he's only 17. He moves a lot better than Peyton Manning ever did.
That's right.
Second down and 9, and Hilder looks like he wants to pass. His ball is tipped at the line.
And I think he had a slant there, too.
And the pattern was certainly open, but Kai-Shun Smith came through and disrupted it. He is a big, tall fella. And on the roster, he's listed at 6'1", but from up here, he looks taller than that. You having fun, Bryant?
You know what? I am.
Well, I'd be disappointed if you weren't, and I'm going to do anything I can to make sure that you enjoy telling the people about VypeFortBend.com, your broadcast home of Fort Bend County sports. Couldn't wait for the football season to get kicked off, and this is game 2 for us. Hilder looking to the right, and he's flushed out, and he's sacked from behind. And that is what we're going to have to call a coverage sack.
Absolutely.
Because Traylon Baloney just kept coming from the right side, and I guess he traveled a good 25 yards to get to Hilders and bring him down.
It almost seemed like all the receivers was in one spot. I wish I could see that again, but it almost seemed like all the receivers in one spot. The route concept wasn't right.
Here's another punt situation. Jedediah Uduna. They are all bunched up to make sure that nobody comes through the middle to block this punt. Oh, he had to get it away quickly. It's kind of a punt with backspin on it. And moving to his left after receiving the punt is Santana Wilson. And he backtracks and loses yardage. And a beautiful tackle. There's the man, Brandon Chambers. He made a lot of big plays last year in the games that we saw featuring Bush. And he brings down Santana Wilson for a negative punt return. And it'll be the Hightower offense. 1st and 10 from their 43.
That's the guy that Coach was harping about. Their leader.
The Hurricane defense just took care of business getting the stop. Office Depot Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace in Sugar Land, taking care of business every day so we can bring you games on VypeFortBend.com every week from the 43 on 1st and 10. There is a quick throw and a completion of about 5 yards into the right flat. Jaden Adams, the receiver of the pass from Kendon Penson. 2nd and 5.
We're seeing sound defense earlier in this game. We are definitely seeing sound defense. Hightower's not huddling up.
Penson, another quick release throw, and he's got it to Caleb Douglas, breaks the tackle, there he goes. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Hightower Hurricanes. No flags on the play, and it's a 48-yard strike for a touchdown. Make it a 52-yard strike.
Wow. It was inevitable. It was a great route, great throw.
Penson to Douglas. So we didn't get out of the first quarter with a scoreless game, and we got a swing and gate formation. There's a snap to Penson. Quick release. It was almost picked off. I think he might have thrown it backwards, but the whistles blow, meaning it's an incomplete pass on the try. Just 6-0 as Hightower leads it. 4:29 to go in the first, and we'll be back.
Get ready. Saving starts with Xfinity. Because when you get Xfinity Internet and mobile together, you can save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill over AT&T. Enjoy fast, reliable internet at home and nationwide 5G on the go, included at no extra cost. That means you can connect to everything you love, whether you're a next-level gaming aficionado, an online shopping mastermind, or crushing that research project. So go ahead, stream on all your devices or video chat from anywhere and save hundreds while doing it, because saving starts with Xfinity. Get Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile and ask how to get an eligible 5G phone on us. And for a limited time, $300 back. Don't miss out. Go to Xfinity.com/start saving. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Internet offer ends 9/30/21 and requires paperless billing and autopay. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Savings based on optimized pricing. Actual savings may vary.
Here we are back at Hall Stadium. And look at the scoreboard there, Bryant. They put 6 on the board for Bush. It should say 6 for Hightower. And there is the kickoff by Cameron Bradford. And it's a rather short kick and up the middle. That's D'Antonio Hackworth across the 40 to the 41-yard line.
That's their guy.
And he's got a good name, too. I like that.
Yeah. Hackworth.
4:13 to go in quarter number 1. And tomorrow night at 5:45, we'll have the countdown to kickoff before we bring you Dulles against Kempner. Did you ever play against Kempner or Dulles? Of course you played against Dulles. Of course.
Absolutely. You know, Kempner was more challenging than Dulles. I'll say that.
1st and 10 from the 42, and it is straight up the middle and no gain as the Hightower defense stands strong. Dalen Ellis in there in the middle. He's big number 55. And it was Nelvins Borgella again with the carry. You know, Borgella sounds like an Italian name.
Absolutely.
Maybe they ought to have chicken Borgella, a new menu item at Nick's Italian Restaurant on 1464, just north of Austin High School. They did give him a yard on the play. Borgella did get one out of it, and it's 2nd and 9.
It's an important drive for Bush.
Play clock at 7. Hilder takes the snap, flips it out into the flat, hit in the backfield, and this is going to be a no-gainer. He got the ball to Adrian Cormier, who is listed, Bryant, on the roster as athlete. There's a lot of things that Adrian can do, but he didn't get a chance to get free there.
And Coach talked about that a little bit as well, too, that he'll be all over the field, listed as an athlete. Hightower is just, they have more energy. They're flying around. They're playing exciting defense.
So there were 2 seasons of Joseph Sam, who did some good things at Hightower, and now someone very familiar to us, Cornelius Anthony, is their head coach. There's a completion to midfield, very close to a first down, as Hilder delivers it to Aaron Valentine, and he is 1 yard short of the first down. It's 4th and 1 right at midfield. I think they're going to go for it, Bryant.
I would too. You don't want to get too far behind in this game.
And the clock, by the way, this is one thing I need to check myself on. I often kind of lose track of the first quarter clock. We're going to be at about 2 minutes when they get this ball snapped. And it's an empty backfield. Wait a minute, whistle prior to the snap.
Was it a timeout?
And it was a direct snap. And they snapped it to Adrian Cormier, but a timeout by the Hightower defense. We'll take it with them and be back. VypeFortBend.com. Hightower up 6-0, 2 minutes left in the first.
You remember their first steps. First time they rode a bike without training wheels, first school dance, and now first year they're driving to school. First Tire and Auto is a family business, and they remember all those firsts too. There's a store just minutes away from your house or the school, so be the first to claim your discounts on oil changes and more. Head to the website firsttireandauto.com. First Tire and Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
All right, so Bush has decided to punt it now.
Oh, wow.
They bring out the punt team, and Santana Wilson is one of those return men back there for Hightower.
Maybe it's a fake.
But they took their stud athlete. It is a fake. You're right, Brian. How about that? And Ayuna, I think he's got the first down. He got blown up, but I think he got it. Julian Payne rocked his world by the near sideline. But they did get the first down, and the officials will soon wave the sticks down the field. Well, Julian Payne with a big, big hit. And, you know, I'm just going to keep an eye on something and ask you to help me do it. Will Jedediah Aduna come back out there the next time Bush needs to punt? Because if someone's a punting specialist and they don't play one of the other positions very often and they get lit up like that, you never know. He might not be so anxious to go out there and punt.
And that was a big hit. That was a huge hit.
Sure was. And now a pre-snap penalty. A flag goes down. Did you understand what Mark Miller said there on the call? I didn't quite make it out.
I couldn't hear that as well.
Well, it is a penalty against Bush. It's 5 yards, and he mentioned number 6. That's Kevin Garcia. Maybe he just took a step or two down the field before the snap or something.
It's first. Oh, okay, so 5 yards.
Yeah, first down and 15 from the 47. There goes Cormier around the right side, and he picks up about 11 yards. No, he does pick up about 11 yards, getting past the original line of scrimmage and getting within 4 yards of a first down pickup. So it is 2nd down and 4 from the Hightower 42-yard line. By the way, we're in the final minute of this first quarter.
Cormier is an athlete, and you're going to mainly see him at the H-back position today.
And it looks like they're going to stick with Cormier at quarterback for right now. I don't think they'll do this the whole game. It's a little change of pace, and he picks up 2 yards over the left side. But, you know, talk about guys who are big. I mean, Dalen Ellis is a load, but what quickness. He moved very quickly to his side to run down a very quick athlete in Cormier.
Yeah. Cormier, he's shifty, a little stocky, kind of an all-in-one type of athlete.
And that's the end of the first quarter, 6-0, Hightower on top of Bush. This is VypeFortBend.com. Bryant Nabufi and Roger Smith back with you in just a moment.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Welcome back. We want to thank Bradley Stavanaugh and all the folks at the Needville Insurance Agency. And tonight's hometown coach is Cornelius Anthony. He went to Elkins just like my broadcast partner, Bryant Nabufi. And go to Bradley Stavanaugh at the Needville Insurance Agency for a team of hometown trusted agents who can make insurance easy for you and save your money. Think about who's out there, Bryant. We have a lot of parents with teenagers. If you have teenagers, especially boys, on your car insurance policy, you know what risk is.
Absolutely.
And it is expensive to insure your teenage drivers, especially the boys. So you got to hook up with Bradley Stavanaugh in Needville at the Needville Insurance Agency, and he can save you money. I am one of his customers now, and keeping a little more money in the bank account every month.
It always helps.
Cormier, 3rd and 1, breaks a tackle. There he goes, inside the 30, still going and ridden down from behind, inside the 20 at the 17. Perhaps saving a touchdown was Julian Payne of Hightower. An explosion on the first play of the second quarter.
What an explosive run. And it seemed like Hightower they're losing their energy that we saw in the first quarter. Or it could be Cormier. Let's just, we'll see.
He has provided a spark, and now he is not alone in the backfield. It's still Cormier and Nelvins Borgella lined up in the pistol right behind him. And I think he wanted to give it to Borgella. They didn't make the connection. He's trapped in the backfield. Hightower throws him back. And I think officially it's just going to be a loss of 1, as throwing him back like an old man sending back soup in a deli is Thaddeus Guidry, the 205-pound, 6-foot linebacker.
Coach Aldridge is trying to stick with what works, but I think he may need to change it up a little bit.
So Bush is using the huddle. I think they kind of want to shorten the game a little bit. They would be happy to consume a lot of clock and run a lot of plays in getting down the field. And now back into the game is Tyler Hilder, the quarterback. More of a thrower, and he gives it off to Borgella right up the middle, up the gut for 2. And Cameron Bradford, who also does the kickoff duties, knocked him down. And that'll bring up 3rd down, and they need 9.
This is a sticky situation because you're thinking, okay, is this a 2-down? Are they going to run a play for a 2-down play, or is this going to be a pass to get the 1st down, move the chains?
And also, if you want to consider what if they come up short, would they kick a field goal? Well, is there wind? The answer is no. No way, no wind one way or the other.
Let's see what happens.
Hilder looking over at the sideline. Takes the snap, throws to his left, and it's a missed connection. Incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Amodia, and it it kind of came behind Amodia. And what do you say?
You know, it's also an issue with the route concept. Their route concept doesn't seem clean. You know, it was a bad throw as well, too, but it just seemed like their route concept is not as clean as, you know, I'm sure the coach wanted to be.
By the way, Bryant, something I was afraid might happen. It's a 34-yard field goal attempt for I don't know who. He's number 84. That his name is not on the roster.
Not
his
even
kick
close.
is blocked,
and
it comes to rest at the 3-yard line and stops right there. The whistle blows. So I guess that if Hightower wants to, they'll simply take over at what was the line of scrimmage, and I think that was the 18-yard line.
You know, Roger, that's what I was saying earlier. I was thinking that Bush was going to make it a 2-down type of play, run it twice, you know, run, pass, but looking at that kicker, you know, I don't know, was that blocked?
Yeah, it sure sounded like it was
okay.
blocked. And it might have hit somebody in the back. And I guess this is not going to be spotted where the previous line of scrimmage was. They put it at the 20-yard line. All right. Penson back in there, taking snaps for the Hightower Hurricanes, who fought Travis to a draw in a scrimmage last week. And it was 7-7. And, you know, the thing is, Bryant, now they're moving the ball back to what the line of scrimmage was before.
It's a lot of back and forth with the referees.
Okay, so they did move the ball back to where it was last snapped. Well, as long as they get it right, I guess.
You know, we're all humans, right?
Of flesh and blood we're made. All right. Penson stepping up in the pocket, throwing down the far sideline, and it's incomplete over the head of Caleb Johnson, who was well covered, and it wasn't Hackworth because, you know, Hackworth is always busy with Caleb Douglas. It was Bryce McDonald on the coverage for the Broncos.
You know, Bush has been playing good so far. They had that one big play. If you minus that, they've been playing pretty good on defense.
By the way, I want to say thank you to my brother-in-law, James Green. He's got some scores for us that I can pass on to you, which I will after this 2nd down and 10 play. One back in the backfield, and Penson hands it to him. Hightower running strong over the right side, and it ends up being about an 8-yard pickup.
A rare run, but a solid run.
It's either Frederick Hankins or Jeremy Payne. Actually, it's Jeremy Payne, and he didn't get 8. He got 9, so it's 3rd and 1. Fulsher leading Cleveland 7-0. Thank you, James Green, for providing that score. By the way, Cleveland High School, they're the Indians, and they will remain the Indians. The Major League Baseball team in Cleveland, Ohio will become the Guardians. Run over the right side and a 2-yard pickup and a first down. Hightower moves the sticks with Jeremy Payne, although that was a nice hard hit out there. Bush has so many guys along the defensive line that aren't real tall, but they will strike you, and Devin Moore made that tackle. I can even give you a Fulsher volleyball scores at halftime. So Hightower has been taking a little time between plays here too, as well as Bush.
Yeah. You wouldn't expect that, but, you know.
Penson looks at the band where plays are listed on his left wrist. And fumble snap, but a whistle as the snap was made.
Yeah, he was trying to rush that. I don't know if the play clock was low. There they go. Delay game.
Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, so Ridge Point and Pearland, we have no score on that one just yet. Fort Bend Travis is at Spring, also nothing to report. Let's stick with what we actually have a score on. Katy 16, Clear Springs nothing. That game in the 2nd quarter. And a timeout called. Was it by the Broncos or the Hightower Hurricanes? I was kind of looking down.
I want to say it was Hightower.
Okay. All right, we'll take it with them. Be right back. VypeFortBend.com, 6-0 Hightower, 8:10 to go in the half.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
We take care of you so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max.
Taking care of business.
All right, we're back from the timeout and another pre-snap whistle. So Hightower was facing a 1st down and 15 after they were penalized trying to get their first play underway. They're at their own 31, but this is not a penalty. For whatever reason, they blew a whistle, and now here we go, start again. Dropping back as Penson hit as he throws. Caleb Douglas makes a catch, but in the backfield, tries to lateral it to a teammate, but the whistle had blown. Caleb Douglas, what an athletic play just to make the catch, because his quarterback had a face full of pass rusher as he let it go. So it's a completion, but I'm going to say for a negative 3 yards here, Brian.
You know what's so interesting that I've been noticing? They have Hackworth on an island press on their best guy. The safety is not even bothered with him. I mean, Coach Aldridge has a lot of faith in his young man.
Yeah, that is showing a lot of confidence right there.
There you go. You see it again.
Penson drops back, heavy rush again, screen pass, gets it away, and a nice tackle by the far sideline to prevent certainly a 1st down and maybe a huge play, and that was Brandon Chambers. I love that kid.
What a great play.
You know, Xfinity and Comcast are the future of awesome, and I truly believe that Brandon Chambers has an awesome future. You know, he's a senior, but he's going to go on and play in college, no question about that. And I know he's going to be a great addition to some college team somewhere.
You know what? High school football is great, but when he gets the chance to play D1 football, it'll be a whole different experience that he'll enjoy.
3rd down and 12. Penson scrambles to his right. Now he's going to pull it down and run. Gets to the 40, headed to the sideline, and he's tackled out of bounds. I'm kind of surprised if there's not a penalty flag thrown. Running him down, it was Preston Davis, short of the 1st down. So it's going to set up a 4th down, and Hightower will be 3 yards short of the 1st down. In fact, I'm kind of surprised that they're not going for it, but then maybe they will. Caleb Douglas will be the one to take the snap in punt formation.
You know, maybe Caleb is just their athlete, you know, not just their receiver, but also their punter. But if you take away that long slant, Bush has been playing pretty solid defense this game.
They really have great assignment football, and their secondary with some pressure on them, with some really fine receivers in front of them, has been tight on the coverage.
You know, it's one thing that Coach always, you know, at Cal, at the pro level, when I was playing, the biggest emphasis was always don't give up the big play, you know? And minus that play, you know, that's what Bush been doing. And so if they keep this up, it'll be a solid game for them.
And by the way, we have a timeout here, but we'll keep it right here at Hall Stadium. 6-0 Hightower with 6:35 to go in the second. Tell us about your experience at the University of California, Berkeley. And you were at the alma mater of Aaron Rodgers, but you weren't there when he was there. But who are some folks that people would know who were your college teammates?
You know, let me think. It's guys right now still playing in the NFL. Let me think of a solid one. You know what? Keenan Allen. He's a very dynamic receiver right now for the Chargers. Marvin Jones. It was a lot of talent right before I came. Deshaun Jackson, these guys. I mean, Cal has some studs, and the city itself was very healthy. It's a very unique city. You know, I enjoyed my time there.
All right, 4th and a long 3, and Caleb Douglas. It's a little bit of a high snap, but he's 6'4", so no problem. And it's a knuckleball punt, stays in the air a long time, and takes a very nice Hightower roll down inside the 20, I believe. Yep, 18-yard line is where he punts it to. So let me do some quick math here, Bryant. Let's see, what's 32 plus 8? I believe that was a 40-yard punt by Caleb Douglas.
10, 20, 30. Yeah, I think you're about right.
I may be wrong.
Wait. Did the bounce give it a little bit more? I don't know. Roger.
Yeah. Well, anyway, here's what we do know.
You know,
Bush has the ball at their 18. I may not be a smart man, but I know that. All right. The ball is on the left hash mark as Bush goes right to left. Hilder over the middle, got a completion and a first down. Running free at the 40 and out to the 44-yard line as he delivered a strike to guess who? D'Antonio Hackworth lines up at receiver.
Is that his first time at wideout?
Well, it's the first time they've targeted him, I think. They spot it at the 45. And Hilder gives it off, and they run a stretch play over the left and plenty of room and close to a first down. It is Nelvin's, no, it's not Borgella. It is Cormier, sorry. And he picks up 9. Tripped up there by Julian Payne in the wake of the play.
Every big run you see somebody getting out of assignment right there. Their linebacker didn't keep contained.
Hilder in the spread. Pistol formation with Cormier right behind him. Plenty of time on the play clock. And he rolls to his right, looks to the far side. The pass is intercepted. And right down at the 34-yard line, a diving interception by Ephraim Dotson.
Again, a very – that cannot be the right route concept, you know. It was a shallow out and a stop route. The receivers are like 2 yards from each other. It's just not right. The quarterback had nowhere to throw, and he forced it.
By the way, let me ask you about something. I don't know how important it is. In my mind, it is. Let me know what you think. Sometimes the quarterback just doesn't make – if you're going to make a play fake, make it look like it might be a run. And so many times the quarterback just gets within a couple of feet of his running back. Doesn't really make it an effective play-action pass. On the first play after the interception, it's a 13-yard run up the middle by Jeremy Payne of Hightower. That's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
To get back to your question, Roger, it does. It absolutely does, because that's an athlete at quarterback. If he could pull that defender on the outside, the DN in, he has a chance to not just, throw it, but also if he could take off and gain a few yards as well, too. So that play action, the emphasis on it really does matter.
And you could hold those linebackers for just that split second that makes the difference in getting something open in the secondary.
Absolutely.
That was going to be a handoff. Penson could not get it to his teammate because he was pressured heavily in the backfield. Devin Johnson coming through. So instead of handing it to the back, he just kind of ducked, and he managed to keep himself alive to prevent a big loss. He actually lost one. It's 2nd and 11.
An aggressive tackle as well.
We're inside 4 minutes to go in the first half and just one touchdown. And it was a 52-yard touchdown pass to Caleb Douglas. There's another run up the middle by Hightower. They keep sticking with Jeremy Payne, and he picks up 4. They had a 2nd down and 11. Now they have a 3rd down and 7 to go.
And again, Bush has been solid in 3rd down all game. So we'll see if that changes this down.
And it looks like somebody's down for Hightower. Maybe not for an injury, but perhaps a leg cramp. I see one of the linemen with his right leg extended. That is Camden Fountain, and it looks like he just might need the trainers to kind of put him on his back and stretch the back of that leg. By the way, with 3 minutes and 19 seconds to go before half, I guess I ought to tell everybody about our halftime show. We've got the twin daughters of the owner, Mariela and Melina Torres of Nick's Italian Restaurant. They're going to join us, and also Haley Hester of Varsity Hype. Have you heard of Varsity Hype?
I have not.
They are a new company, a very innovative company that wants to compete with Huddle. You know, Huddle does a great job with video of sports, whether it's in the interest of a team or an individual. But Varsity Hype, they're kind of buddies with Vype now, and they are going to provide the same great service in video, but they're going to do it for a lot less. And Haley Hester is going to talk to us about it at halftime.
Okay, I'm interested to hear more about it.
3rd down and 7. Penson in the spread, takes the snap.
Oh.
Fakes it on a delay and gets buried in the backfield. And how about Brandon Chambers?
Again, sound defense, and that's their leader. Coach Aldridge, he was raving about this man. And as you said, Roger, I do see him playing football on Saturdays.
All right, D'Antonio Hackworth, another player that's likely to be playing on Saturdays in the college game. He is back to receive the punt, standing near his 20. And Caleb Douglas, if he is going to pull it down and run, he's going to have to gain at least 13 yards.
Yeah, I don't see that
to
happening.
Convert it. We're under 2.5 minutes, and we'll see whether Bush kind of goes into a hurry-up offense. High snap.
Oh!
Douglas gets it away. He's hit as he does. Bounces a couple of times. There goes Hackworth up the middle. 30-yard line, breaks a tackle, and a flag comes in. This is almost always against the return team. So I think that more than likely Bush is going to start inside their 20 with 2:13 to go before the half and trailing 6-0.
Yeah, and that's not I think that's not where Bush want to be at. You know, we don't want nothing to happen to where they're forcing, like what we just saw last drive. You know, passing, and then you get the turnover and putting Hightower in good field position.
So Penson with the 52-yard pass to Caleb Douglas. That made it 6-0 with 4:29 left in the first quarter. But, you know, that's been it for the scoring.
Low scoring.
All right, so the ball is walked all the way back to the 15-yard line, and I think that Bush is probably just going to keep it close to the vest right here. And they want to make sure that they don't turn the ball over. Hightower, I didn't check the scoreboard for timeouts. There goes Cormier around the right side, turns it up inside the numbers, and they're going to wrestle him down after he picks up 3. And let's see, according to the scoreboard, Hightower doesn't have any more timeouts. Says 0. So they can't do anything to stop the clock and try and get the ball back. See if Bush bleeds off the play clock or most of it before they snap it again.
Yeah, looking at this pace, it looks like they're just trying to get themselves into halftime. Regroup.
And I know that Coach Aldridge likes to be in a close game late and start dominating with the running game. Not easy to do, though, against Hightower. Hilder moves to his left, throws late, gets a completion. They did put it in the air, but they didn't throw it way down the field. It's 2 yards short of the first down as it's Michael Amodia who makes the catch. Clock stops. Oh, no, it doesn't stop. It's still going.
And they're going with the no huddle.
1:12 to go. Ball in the left hash mark. They've advanced it to the 24. 3rd and 1. Hilder drops back, steps up, rolls to the right, looking sideline, hit, throws incomplete. That's a break for Hightower.
We got a flag here.
And is it going to be roughing the passer or something?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is, Roger. It's a roughing the passer.
Well, hold on. It could be intentional grounding because he didn't get it back to the line of scrimmage.
And it seemed like he was hit while he was throwing, so if they called that, I wouldn't understand. Oh, they called it a horse? They called it a horse collar, Roger.
Okay, thank you, Bryant. Horse collar tackle. Mark Miller letting us know, and that is a big break for these Bush Broncos who trail 6-0 as we're in the last minute of the first half. And so I don't see any reason why they might not just throw it down the field at least one time.
See if they get some points on the board.
And we mentioned before, there's really no wind to speak of. Hilder throws far sideline and too high for Hackworth. And even if he had caught that ball, I think he would not have been able to maintain his balance when he came down. Santana Wilson on the defense for Hightower.
You know, the clock stopped. 2nd and 10. Let's see what happens.
54.3 to go before the first half is over. 2nd and 10, and Hilder throws a deep one down the near sideline, and it's uncatchable. It went out of bounds. He was looking for Michael Omodia. If it was Canadian football, Brian Nabufi, it could have been a catch.
Yeah.
The field is a little bit wider up there, north of the border, eh?
Yeah, it
I do
absolutely
voices
is.
all the time. I hope it doesn't throw you off.
Not at all.
49.5 to go. It's 3rd down and 10. Bush has shown a willingness to throw the ball, but they hand it off straight up the middle. Cormier's got near first down yardage. I think they're going to wave the sticks down the field. I think he made it. If not, they need to measure it.
I don't think he made it, Roger.
Yeah. You know what's strange, though, Bryant? I've seen it so much. Officiating crews will just kind of wave the ball down the field in the first 3 quarters of the game. They just kind of eyeball and say, yeah, give it to him. And I don't know. I just –
that kind of seems unfair.
It does bother me sometimes, just the haphazard way they casually say it's a first down. And now the clock has run down to 7 seconds, and I think Bush is just going to let it expire, and they do. All right. You know, sometimes we've seen and heard those interview the coach on the sideline as he runs off. Well, we don't have that capacity tonight, but I'm going to interview you. So how do you feel after your first half of announcing high school football in Fort Bend County on VypeFortBend.com?
You know what? I feel good. It's even more.
I knew that you would.
But I tell you what, it's being with you, Roger.
Oh, go on.
Okay, all right. It's being with you, all right? You're making this a lot easier for me. And, getting a chance to watch high school football, being with you, this is awesome. I look forward to my next game.
Well, I tell coaches, I tell fans, anybody who wants to talk about high school sports, and it sounds kind of corny, but I really mean this. I just don't think there are too many things in this world that are more worthwhile than the extracurricular activities of schools in the United States of America, the way they come together, they wear the colors, they have the pride, they learn cooperation and teamwork and the value of practicing something over and over to get it right and execute in a beautiful way. And, it prepares them for life. All these boys and girls you see representing their school out here at events like this, they're going to be better young men and young women when they are done with their going to school education.
Absolutely.
So there's just not too many things in this world that I think are more worthwhile than what the UIL does, and especially in the state of Texas.
Absolutely.
All right, so we are going to come back and let you hear our guests, the Torres girls from Nick's Italian Restaurant and Haley Hester of Varsity Hype. They are coming your way after we take this break. You're listening to VypeFortBend.com. Our halftime score, Hightower 6 and Bush 0.
Get ready. Saving starts with Xfinity. Because when you get Xfinity Internet and mobile together, you can save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill over AT&T. Enjoy fast, reliable internet at home and nationwide 5G on the go, included at no extra cost. That means you can connect to everything you love, whether you're a next-level gaming aficionado, an online shopping mastermind, or crushing that research project. So go ahead, stream on all your devices or video chat from anywhere and save hundreds while doing it, because saving starts with Xfinity. Get Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile and ask how to get an eligible 5G phone on us. And for a limited time, $300 back. Don't miss out. Go to Xfinity.com/start saving. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Internet offer ends 9/30/21 and requires paperless billing and autopay. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Savings based on optimized pricing. Actual savings may vary.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Welcome back. It's halftime. This is Vype, FortBend.com, your broadcast home for Fort Bend ISD sports. And what a thrill it is at halftime. By the way, our halftime score is... And all of these broadcasts would not be possible without our great sponsors, and we really are thrilled that Nick's Italian Restaurant is sponsoring us this year. And here to talk about the brains of the operation, the twin daughters, Mariela and Melina Torres. Thank you so much for being with us. And Mariela, since she was born first and comes first alphabetically, she gets to say hello first.
And I don't let her forget it, so just so you know, sister. My name is Mariela.
And my name is Melina. I'm more of the favorite, but don't tell anybody. So, it's good.
I'll let her believe that, but that's not true, guys. Not true.
Okay, I need to regain control of this interview. All right. Many of you are familiar with Nick's Italian Restaurant, even if you haven't been there. And if that's the case, what's wrong with you? You need to go to Nick's. It is on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School. It's also a little bit east of Travis. Very convenient if you live in the neighborhoods of Kempner, also Bush, as well as Richmond Foster, and any teams that like to beat those teams that I just mentioned. We're all in the family. We love each other in Fort Bend, but of course we want to beat our close neighbors very much in interscholastic competition. But first of all, let's talk about your family's history. You've kind of taken over Nick's Italian Restaurant. Tell us about it.
Yes, so Nick's Italian has been established here in the Richmond community for a little over 20 years. Nick, the original owner, was a Greek owner. He and my dad were friends for a long time, Wilfredo, and they were really good friends, and they actually met working at another restaurant.
Yes. Another Italian restaurant, actually. My dad was a server. Excuse me. Nick was a server there at the time, and
you can call him your dad. That's kind. That's fine. He's Wilfredo.
Who makes some bomb Alfredo, just so you know, okay? So in case you don't remember his name, just remember Alfredo Wilfredo. That's how it is, okay? But yes, he was a server at the time, and my dad was a chef there. When Nick wanted to open his own establishment, he actually got my dad to create the menu for him. So a lot of our menu options haven't changed. Although we don't have any pie, some pizza pie, we do have some very, very tasty pasta dishes. So,
as well as our house specialty, the Nick's Jumbo Shrimp. It's really, really delicious. You can't go wrong with that lemon butter sauce that they pour over those lightly golden fried shrimp and those sauteed veggies with the oil and garlic. So you can't go wrong with our house specialty.
You look like you had more to say, Mariela.
I will just say that Bianco sauce is our liquid gold. So I'm just adding to that. Even if you don't like shrimp, we got it on plenty other dishes. Our chicken pistachio, which is another fan favorite. definitely, if you're a mushroom lover, have mushrooms with our sun-dried tomatoes and artichokes on top of a pistachio breaded chicken breast.
Now let's talk about the best thing in the house, which is the dessert. Who makes the tiramisu, y'all?
I do.
No, you don't.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
No,
and if you know about teamwork, which I'm sure y'all do, any sports always talk about it, she does the work and I take the credit. Teamwork makes the dream work.
No. But I do. I make the tiramisu. So that tiramisu is made in-house. And I have gotten a lot of compliments on it. So if you are curious to taste our tiramisu, please stop by.
I think what I like the most is that you have been able to find a good balance between the coffee and the cream. So it's not too strong on the espresso, has just enough creamy richness, and it stays pretty fluffy because it's not wet like some of the other tiramisus. So if y'all definitely want to give it a try, come on in. Even if it's just for the dessert, you'll enjoy it just as much as I do.
All right, so you've heard about so many delicious treats, both the entrees and the desserts, and we're going to talk more about Nick's Italian Restaurant when we return on VypeFortBend.com. Don't go away.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Hi, everybody. VypeFortBend.com coverage of Fort Bend ISD football. We are with you at Hall Stadium. 6-0 Hightower leads Bush at halftime, and we will be back with more of that interview of the girls from Nick's Italian Restaurant, Mariela and Melina Torres, when we return here on VypeFortBend.com. Later in the halftime show, we will have some scores for you. Welcome back to more of Halftime on VypeFortBend.com, and our halftime visit continues with the twin daughters who are the brain trust of Nick's Italian Restaurant, Mariela and Melina Torres. Their father, Wilfredo, is the owner and the head chef. And there was something that I just wanted to suggest for all you fans out there. Let's say you have a game at Bush or at Kempner or at Austin or at Travis or at Richmond Foster or anywhere in Fort Bend County. If after that victory you want to come celebrate, well, even if it's too late to eat the big meal, they have great desserts here at Nick's Italian Restaurant. They basically have anything Italian that you would want other than pizza. They don't have pizza. That's one of their unique quirks. But Mariela and Melina, it's great to visit with you. Let's talk about how the two of you got here, because you didn't go to school in Fort Bend. Where did you go, and tell us how you ended up here?
We went to school in A-Leaf. We actually were at Hastings. And so when my dad acquired the restaurant, we just kind of jumped on board. I mean, for the last 4 years, I worked in banking and finance, so I knew nothing about the restaurant industry. But going into it, I was like, I'm down for it.
And I've been in the medical field the last 10 years. When my dad needed servers, we kind of jumped on board. Our first time serving, actually.
I've never served anywhere.
Ever. And we actually fell in love with it. And because it's not just the food here.
No,
it's
we fell
more
in love with
about
the people.
With our patrons, yeah, very much. Returning and new. So
getting to know them and kind of just building that rapport with them and just building those relationships. That was, for me and for her, that was what was like most important. We wanted to make you feel like you were at home when you come to eat at Nick's. More of an experience for you. You can come, you can eat anywhere. You can choose to eat at any other big name restaurant. Why choose Nick's? Why? Because we genuinely care.
What sets us apart is that it's an experience
And it's
not
the
just
service that we give.
Right, correct.
And you've talked about ingredients, you've talked about dishes and the things that season things and make them the best way they could possibly be. But the main thing that, I've had quite a few visits with you because I really want to let our listeners know what Nick's is about and what it's like, not just during the football season, but throughout the year. And what is the slogan, Mariela, that you came up for the restaurant?
So I actually came up with it because it's near and dear to my heart. Our family does get a little bit bigger every time you guys stop by. So that to us is a big in itself. Very much in the sense that, again, yes, we have good food, but we have a great experience when you guys come.
And one thing that I can tell you is that's something that my father instilled in us. Everybody that would walk into our house, you greet them, you say hi. Hi, do you need a drink? Is there anything I can get you? And that was something that was instilled in us when we were very, very little. And something that I'm very honestly grateful for because I never understood it until now when we worked here at the restaurant. I want to make sure everybody's taken care of. Mariela wants to make sure everybody's taken care of. And whether it's getting you water, getting you more napkins, your food's incorrect, hey, let me fix it for you because we keep you happy and you guys come back to us and you keep us happy and, here for you guys. There's not an experience that you're going to get going anywhere else.
And the slogan is, as you said before, we can't say it enough times, our family gets bigger every time you stop by. And just remember that they are on FM 1464 just north of Austin High School, just a little bit east of Travis High School, a little bit northwest of Camden. Are you impressed with my geographical skills?
I'm trying to remember everything. And I'm like, what? I don't know this. I'm over here Googling. Like, is he right?
We're just thrilled that you have done everything to make it possible for us to bring people these sporting events every week. We do 3 to 5 events every single week. And we're going to make it pay off for you because if you've been driving by Nick's for a long time and you haven't come in a while, you should come back.
It really, we are happy every time we get new customers coming in who've never been here. If you see us driving by, stop by and say hi. I promise you won't regret it.
And people hear this on our broadcast all year long. They hear your commercial spots. But go ahead and tell them what is the website if they want to place an online order, and also what's the number if they just want to call Nick's.
All right. The phone number we have is 346-401-1546.
The website?
I apologize, y'all. The website is nicksitalianrestaurant.com. You can also Google us, or we're on Apple, Safari, all that good stuff. And we're open 7 days a week. We are here for you not just 6 days, but 7 days.
No breaks.
11 a.m. to 10 p.m. I know. And we are here from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. We also are on all of the other platforms for food delivery. We're on Uber, Grubhub, DoorDash. So if you don't have time to stop by and dine in, you can always carry out with us as well.
All right. We are done with our halftime visit with Mariela and Melina. You are wonderful. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
We look forward to seeing you guys.
Bye.
Right. FortBend.com coverage of Fort Bend ISD and Fort Bend County sports continues right after this.
Your majors, Patrick Castillo, Jaime Fuerte, Josh Gomez.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Get ready. Saving starts with Xfinity. Because when you get Xfinity Internet and mobile together, you can save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill over AT&T. Enjoy fast, reliable internet at home and nationwide 5G on the go, included at no extra cost. That means you can connect to everything you love, whether you're a next-level gaming aficionado, an online shopping mastermind, or crushing that research project. So go ahead, stream on all your devices or video chat from anywhere and save hundreds while doing it, because saving starts with Xfinity. Get Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile and ask how to get an eligible 5G phone on us. And for a limited time, $300 back. Don't miss out. Go to Xfinity.com/start saving. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Internet offer ends 9/30/21 and requires paperless billing and autopay. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Savings based on optimized pricing. Actual savings may vary.
It's halftime on our VypeFortBend.com coverage of Fort Bend County football. Vype and Varsity Hype. They're pretty close. They're not exactly the same thing in reality. They're pretty close in name. But Haley Hester is here to tell us all about Varsity Hype. She's the product owner. Tell us all about what you're doing.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on. So Varsity Hype is aiming to level the playing field. We're cheaper. We're an alternative to Huddle and other video analytics platforms. We never charge more for footage uploads. You can max it out. You can add photos. And we have recruitment profiles for the students. We would really love to see the kids from 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A all have the same opportunities, regardless of income level and skill set.
You mentioned several different applications, but the one that really intrigues me is the recruitment profile. Kids believe that they are good enough at the high school level to at least get some kind of opportunity at the college level. So talk about the different options there and how you are able to isolate video of a singular athlete.
Absolutely. So one of our things that we really enjoyed doing is it's not just for sports. We also embrace the arts and extracurriculars. So whether it's chess, debate, dance, football, basketball, you have a place in our platform. We consider it kind of like a LinkedIn for high school students.
You just blew my mind. I didn't even think about the other things that the UIL does. In fact, I am reminded every year that the UIL does a lot more things that are not sports than they do that actually are sports. So you mentioned the arts and things like that. So how well-versed in computer technology and how handy do you have to be with an iPhone or whatever to take full advantage of Varsity Hype?
Well, luckily, we take a lot of pride in our platform being extremely user-friendly. That was actually one of our goals. It doesn't matter if you're tech-savvy or tech-illiterate, you can get on our platform and use it pretty easily.
So we're talking to Haley Hester, and I can tell you're pretty good at this. You give very concise answers, but just remember, it's a long halftime. You can expound as much as you want to on anything, but let's go back to it's something that kind of fuels people if they don't get to be athletes as long as they wanted, or if they don't get to be coaches, they find some way to get involved in sports. And I love high school sports, and I can kind of tell that you do too. Tell us about your athletic career.
Absolutely. I went to a small 2A school. I ran track and field. I did women's 100-meter hurdles, played soccer, basketball, cross country. So I know what sports can do for kids. And especially with the past year and a half that we've had, it's more important now than ever. Especially for those kids who are, like you said, looking to get recruited in the arts and the extracurriculars. Maybe they play sports, but maybe they're stronger in art or debate or chess. We still want to give them the opportunity to get recruited from our platform. We don't just isolate it to sports.
I'll ask you this again before we let you go as we continue at halftime here on VypeFortBend.com, but give all the contact information, website, URL, phone number if people are interested in Varsity Hype.
Absolutely. So you can go on our website, www.varsityhype.com, or shoot us an email, hello@varsityhype.com. Again, my name is Haley Hester. Feel free to reach out at any time. We'd love to give you guys a demo, and we look forward to seeing what you guys do in the future.
And that's Haley without the I. We'll be back with more if you can stick around a little bit.
Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you.
We'll be back as the halftime proceedings continue on VypeFortBend.com.
You remember their first steps. First time they rode a bike without training wheels, first school dance, and now first year they're driving to school. First Tire and Auto is a family business, and they remember all those first too. There's a store just minutes away from your house or the school, so be the first to claim your discounts on oil changes and more. Head to the website firsttireandauto.com. First Tire and Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Welcome back, and we continue talking with Haley Hester of Varsity Hype, and a very innovative company that, I love the idea of competition. I was talking with an old-timer earlier today when the city of Houston had 2 daily newspapers. They had the Chronicle and the Houston Post, and it's never a good thing when a big city ends up with only one paper when there's no competition. And there have been a lot of innovations in video for athletes and teams where maybe one company kind of had a corner on the market. Talk about what competition means to you and how it makes everybody in a particular area better.
I couldn't agree with you more. Competition is great. It's part of the reason we got started in the first place. The other guys do a good job of what they've done, but they haven't managed to get their price point down to something that everybody can afford. That was our main objective and main goal. We are based out of Houston, Texas. Our technology team is in-house, and we've put a lot of effort into making the architecture and infrastructure sustainable for long-term growth to keep this price point the same, if not go lower in the future.
So how many people on the Varsity Hype team? How many does it take to get everything done? And do you have some part-timers as well as full-timers, or do you have several full-time people?
So we actually started February of 2020 with 4 people, right before the pandemic started. We now have 13. 3 of those are interns, a couple of part-timers in there as well, but the rest is full-time. And 5 of those guys are full-stack developers who work on the app 24/7.
So I guess as long as, let's say, someone has an interest in shooting video, there are so many things that you can use to shoot video. You don't necessarily have to have a camera that takes up a lot of room or is very heavy. Does anybody need something other than an iPhone or some other similar device to get video?
No, they can use an iPhone, an iPad. If they have a 1080p camera they want to use, whatever's suitable for you is available to be uploaded onto our site.
Very interesting. So one of the things I want to thank your staff for, someone called me coach. Was that you?
Yes, it was.
Okay, well, I'm not a coach, but if people think I'm a coach, I take that as a compliment because coach is such a meaningful title. Whether it's boys coach, girls coach, it doesn't matter. So many young people, there are some who are kind of at risk. And having a coach who really truly cares about them and helps them develop and learn and grow is amazing. Can you talk about some particular experiences either that you've had or observations that you've made in other lives?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, I will give a lot of credit to Coach Gore at the Briarwood School. She talked me into going into golf. It's not a field I ever had imagined treading into, but it helped me build a lot of confidence and, self-assurance in an area that I was pretty sure I was going to fail at. Stephanie Gore at Briarwood, if you're listening, you were one of my favorite coaches and one of my biggest inspirations in life. They are the unsung heroes, I think, of a lot of athletes and just in their personal lives, helping them become better people.
Now that you're busy with Varsity Hype, do you still get to play golf?
Not as much as I'd like to, and I still double par everything, so I'm not very good, but it is a lot of fun, and it's something that I'm glad I've learned to do.
I have a really, really nice set of clubs. It's been in the garage. I don't think I've touched it in 10 years, and I don't feel real good about that, and part of it is that I have 2 boys. If they wanted me to play golf with them, I'd have a reason to play golf, but they've pursued other things, so I kind of have to help them do those other things. But I hope for your sake that you get back on the golf course soon. Maybe you could kind of use it to facilitate business for Varsity Hype.
Absolutely. I've actually tried to talk my daughter into playing golf. Unfortunately, she has no interest, but we do putt-putt quite often.
How old is your daughter?
She'll be 13 next week.
Okay, well, maybe it's not too late for her to say, you know, golf might be something she'd want to do. So we're visiting with Haley Hester of Varsity Hype, and I wanted to find out, is there anything else that you'd like people to know about you or your company, Varsity Hype, before we let you go?
Absolutely. Varsity Hype really does aim to level the playing field. If you're listening and you have a school who still can't afford what we offer at the moment, we want to work with you. We want to give every school, every athlete, every student the same opportunity, and we're very dedicated to that mission. All
right, so give all the contact information one more time.
Absolutely. You can visit us at www.varsityhype.com or email us at hello@varsityhype.com. My name is Haley Hester. You can also find me on LinkedIn. I'd love to chat.
All right, so it's Vype and Varsity Hype. Believe the Vype and believe the Varsity Hype. We'll be back with more on VypeFortBend.com. Thank you, Haley Hester. We'll continue. We'll bring you some scores right after this.
Everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max.
Taking care of business.
The 2 teams are back on the field, and we're about ready to start the third quarter. But before we do, I want to give you some scores, and we got some really exciting ones. The Ridge Point Panthers have gone to the rig in Pearland, and they are leading 27-0 in the second quarter. These scores coming to you courtesy of my brother-in-law, James Green, who lives in a nice neighborhood near Travis High School, and the father of my niece and my nephew, Lindsay, Beth, and Jack. Anyway, he also let me know that Fulshire is leading the Cleveland Indians 19-0 in the second quarter. Manville and Dickinson, a couple of high-quality teams. Manville leading Dickinson 9-0. That's in the second. North Shore is leading 14-0 on Summer Creek. All these games are in the second quarter unless otherwise indicated. You got the Katy Tigers, the defending state champions of Class 6A Division II, and they lead 19-0 at the half over the Clear Springs Chargers. The Spring Lions, up in the northern part of Harris County, are leading Travis. The Travis Tigers are trailing 14-0 in the second. And I think that's pretty much it. Other than, let's see, Stafford and Angleton at last report, second quarter tied at 13. Stafford and Angleton, and the North Shore Mustangs leading Shadow Creek 7-0. And in a game that's important to at least a half a dozen people out there, Bowling leads Fort Bend Christian 7-0. I know that you were really high on that matchup, right? Bowling and Fort Bend Christian. You know, we'd really like to do stuff with Fort Bend Christian. But, you know, they don't return your emails. So,
is that right?
Well, not so far. They don't realize how much we can do for them.
So it's not a no or a yes.
It's a no response. All right, so the kicker, whose name we don't know, strides toward the football to kick it off for Bush. It's a high, short kick, comes down near the 18-yard line, and here comes the return. It's a pretty good one across the 40, across the 50, still going far sideline, and down the sideline and bumped out of bounds inside the 30. And I believe the guy bringing it back was Andreas Misic Duncombe. But double check me on the number there. Let's see, I'm following him. He's getting a lot of pats on the back. There he goes. He's surrounded by teammates. What a big play, and no flags on the play.
Yeah, I can't get it either, Roger.
Okay, there he is. He's 13, I believe. I think I got it right. Andreas Misic Duncombe. And it's 1st and 10 for Hightower from the 30-yard line, leading by 6. High snap, and the ball is loose in the backfield, and Bush gets the fumble recovery.
Oh, that's a
5 yards deep in the backfield. The ball never really got into the arms of the intended running back, and Preston Davis came up with a recovery.
But a flag.
I think it might be a little bit of a excessive celebration. I think that Davis was so excited he kind of threw the ball, and you saw some taunting. And we'll listen to Mark Miller, the referee, when he turns on his mic. Hear what he says. Okay, he waved the flag to say no infraction.
Oh, wow.
So that's got to be a nice little pick-me-up for the Bush Broncos. They gave up the big kick return, but on the very first play from scrimmage, Preston Davis recovers a fumble. And I don't know really, Bryant, whether I should say Jeremy Payne fumbled or was it his quarterback, Penson, who turned around and tried to hand it to him.
It looked like Jeremy Payne because it looked like Jeremy did receive the ball. It was just almost simultaneously. As soon as he got it, the defender was right there.
Big play by Preston Davis, and it is 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line for the Bush Broncos. Not sure how the ball ended up there. I thought it was recovered at the 35, but whatever. Okay, Hilder gives it back to Cormier. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, but bounces like a ping pong ball or maybe a pinball, one or the other.
Right.
And he reroutes himself back toward the middle of the line and picks up 3. It's 2nd down and 7.
It's an important drive for Bush.
Yeah, Bush would love to find a way to score a touchdown, kick the extra point. They'd be up by 1, and then they could just clamp down on defense and run the football when they get it on offense.
We've got to hope that extra point doesn't come back and haunt Hightower.
That would be something that would keep Cornelius Anthony up at night. Quick pass, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Michael Amodia, who tried to run before he had it tucked away. That would have been a gain of about 5 and would have set up a very third and very short situation, but now it's 3rd and 7.
That's a wide open drop. It's unacceptable.
Now Hilder, usually when Bush throws the football, it's a fairly short pass attempt. Never seems to be more than 15 yards down the field. But maybe, just maybe, they're kind of setting Hightower up. If they can get the protection to get one of their guys deep, maybe they will throw it deep. There's a pass, and it's complete to Hackworth, and it's a 1st down at the 44.
What a pass.
He was belted immediately. Great concentration. Jeremy Straughter brought him down hard immediately, but that moves the sticks. It's a 1st down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at First Tire. I say check them out at firsttireandauto.com. I waited for the PA guy. You know, he belts it out. 1st down. And I'm not sure the people at home can hear us when he does that.
Right.
Hilder hands it off. There goes Cormier up through the middle, breaking tackles, spinning, and rolling down to the 35-yard line. They spot him at the 36. And that's a pickup of 8. 2nd down and 8 to go.
It seemed like he missed that initial hold. That hold he just gained that extra yard. If he would have went there initially instead of running right in the back of his men, it could have been a big gain.
And he would have prevented getting a bruise on his teammate's back.
Absolutely.
Or 2.
Right.
3 receivers on the right side of the formation for Hilder. And they keep it on the ground, and Cormier stumbles, but he keeps going. Look at him go! Down the far sideline, inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. And that Bush offensive line that Coach Aldridge likes so much is starting to I think maybe wear out Hightower's defense a little bit.
And you talked about that just earlier during the break, right? You know, the run. Eventually, you know, Hightower going to give in and start to become fatigued. They're going to have to be strong and stay in the paint.
Now they have Donovan Nixon in there to spell his teammate. Give to Nixon. There he goes, off left tackle, and gets down near the 10-yard line. I think the ball might have come out. Bush is pointing, saying that they retained possession, but we'll wait and see what the officials say. If it is still Bush ball, Bryant, I believe it's going to be 2nd down and 3. Yeah, it is. They did retain possession on the carry by Nixon. They have it at the 11-yard line, 2nd down and a long 3. They're eating up a lot of clock here. They burned almost 3 minutes of the third quarter.
And that was fast.
Six to nothing. Bush trails, but they're knocking on the door. Hilder gives to Borgella, hitting the backfield, trying to get out of the backfield, and some nifty running to get inside the 10. I think he picked up 2, but you know what? That's going to set up a 4th down and 1.
Wow, I'm surprised that wasn't offsides, but it was perfect.
Yeah, it was one of those that you wonder how they couldn't throw a flag for offsides because the lineman got into the backfield so quickly.
Right.
Now, on a play such as this, by the way, the down box says 3rd down, and I think it's correct, but it said 3rd down before the previous play. So this is not gotta have it necessarily.
Right.
Pistol formation, Cormier behind Hilder. And he
to
draws one of the defenders across the line, takes the snap, gives to Cormier, but now there are whistles, and one of the officials deemed that the guy that jumped through the gap had made contact with one of the offensive linemen, and therefore it's going to be a penalty that gives Bush a 1st and goal.
It's a costly play. He did it the previous play, got away with it. This play, he didn't get away with it.
And I think if you make any contact whatsoever, even if you just kind of brush the sleeve of their jersey, then it's considered encroachment.
Right.
I like that word. I've learned a lot of words because of football. When I was little, they just called it offsides, and then one time they started calling it encroachment. And there is Cormier. He dropped the football. Recovery by Hightower at the 9. Julian Payne says, "Look what I found." And the Bush coaches, so frustrated, a beautiful drive took them into a goal-to-go situation and an unforced error. And with 7:49 to go in the third, they come up empty. It is still 6-0 Hightower, and the Hurricanes, after they turn it over on their first play of the third quarter, will take over again.
That's an unfortunate play, Roger. It's a momentum game, you know? It's a momentum game, and they just lost a lot of momentum with that turnover.
All right, so if you're Bush, you really want the defense to, don't let your guard down, don't get discouraged, and continue to play good defense. And the ball came out. Is he down, or is it a fumble? Let's wait until the official indication.
They're calling it Bush.
The umpire is pointing in Bush's direction. Hightower with 2 offensive snaps in the third quarter, and they fumbled on both of them. And it's 1st and 10 for Bush at the 13-yard line. And Bryant, this is one of the things I like about high school football. There are almost always enough mistakes to keep the game just a little bit more exciting.
Right. As soon as they lost their momentum, they just captured it right back. How many is that? 1, 2,
That's
3?
3 fumbles in this quarter, 2 by Hightower.
We're not even 5 minutes within the game.
So Bush, going from right to left in this third quarter, has it 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line of Hightower. And now they have 3 men in the backfield. Alan Aldridge III, the coach's son, is in there along with 3 other running backs. And there is the give to Cormier, hanging on tight to the ball. Gets inside the 10-yard line to the 8. And that's a gain of 6 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 4.
I think the first time I seen a formation like that all game was at like the wishbone. Old school.
Alan Aldridge III. He is a junior. He is on the left side of Hilders. And I want to identify the other back who's in the backfield. I think maybe it's Braylon James Green. There's another give to Cormier. Bobbled the ball for a moment, but he got to the 5, keeps on pushing, and they stonewall him right there. Hightower coming up with a tackle, Jeremy Straughter. And now it is 3rd down and 2. This is a big play right here.
And again, this has to be, in my eyes, from what I've been watching, it's a 2-down deal.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they want to settle for a field goal. Aaron Valentine, the sophomore, is split out wide to the right, but I don't think Bush is going to put the ball in the air here.
And they're stacking the box.
Here's the give to Cormier, moving to his left, and a helmet comes off. He's somewhere in the middle of the scrum. It depends on where they spot it. He's very close to a 1st down, but Brian, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a yard short.
If it's me, Rogers, if they don't have it here, let me see. Okay, it's 4th. They're calling it 4th.
All right.
I don't know. I may think about a play action. Everybody's expecting a run. That's all they've been doing. I'm expecting a play action, maybe a quarterback rollout.
And make it a convincing fake
Absolutely.
before you do the rollout.
Just like we talked about earlier. Really sell it. We'll see.
But now it's basically a power I formation. Hilder gives it off up the middle, the big push, and there's a big mass of humanity. I don't think they got there. I don't think they got the first down.
I don't think so either.
The Hightower defense has held. And how about that? And it's really hard to credit anyone with a tackle on a play like that, but I credit Dalen Ellis, who's right there in the middle of the defensive line, and Hightower stops them. And just a little observation here, Bryant. We do have headsets on, but Hightower just made a huge goal to go, actually an inside the 10 stand. Not much reaction from their fans. You would think their fans would be excited.
Right.
You'd think they would make sure the defense hears them, give their verbal appreciation.
Yeah, you know.
Okay, 1st and 10 from the 5, running tough right up the middle, and it's a tackle for a loss of 1. Dylan Sublett, I believe, getting his first carry of the game, and he loses 1 back to the 4. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Bush defense has been consistent this game. You take away that slant, and they've been playing great football.
All right, 2nd down and 11. Penson throwing out of his end zone down the field and incomplete. He threw it close to the sideline, and Caleb Douglas was basically running up the numbers near the 25 on the far side. So that pass nowhere close to being complete. We're at 4:58 to go in the 3rd. Still just 6-0 Hightower. And while I like to describe touchdowns, I like a game like this. A rock'em sock'em tough defensive battle.
And I'm a defensive guy, so I like it too.
Penson with a hand signal, takes the snap, going to throw out of the end zone again. Near sideline, long enough, caught! It is caught across midfield, still going. 30, 20, 10, all the way for a touchdown to Zion Kearney. Zion Kearney. There's a flag back there. I'm not sure what it's going to be.
I think that was a pass interference, Roger.
Well, you're sure it's defense?
I think it's defense, but let's see.
Well, yeah, the umpire is pointing at the defense. So I think that maybe the defender who was trying to cover Zion Kearney might have realized that he was behind me anyway. I better reach out and grab something or slap a hand.
And as much as we want to be quick to point the finger at that young man, why is he pressing on 3rd and 11? You know?
Well, the result is a 96-yard touchdown pass. Penson with his second touchdown pass of the night. Yeah, there's a particular game I might mention to you if we have time to chat about it later on in the game, where it was very costly to play press coverage when the situation didn't really call for it.
Doesn't make sense to me, Roger.
Well, the score is 12-0, and Hightower, after missing the extra point kick the first time, will go for two here. In the middle of the field, from the 3-yard line, Penson with a fade route to the right side. Caleb Douglas goes down, and there is a flag that comes in. Now there's pushing and shoving afterward, and a lot more flags. So the flag came in immediately. One of the DBs pushed Caleb Douglas, and then Douglas pushed the defender. He pushed back, and the next thing you know, you got some snarling and snapping.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration from the previous play, I would say.
Okay, so Hightower, a touchdown in the first, and a long touchdown pass from Penson. 96 yards. And I hope I'm pronouncing the young man's name, his last name correctly. I said Kearney. Could be Kearney. Could be Kearney. You know, in Nebraska, there's a state university, Kearney State, and it's spelled, you know, just like Zion spells his name.
How do you know that, Roger?
How do I know that?
Yeah.
I guess I'm Rain Man. I just have this photographic memory.
You have no relation. Do you have any relation in Nebraska?
One on white, one on orange. Rules all set. So we're going to replay the turnout from the 1.5 yard line.
Okay, so personal fouls after the try was over, offsetting, but pass interference against the defense on that fade route attempt from Penson to Caleb Douglas. And so they'll move the ball to the 1.5 yard line, and Hightower will try to up their lead to 14-0. So, by the way, let's see, I'm guessing 2002 or 3, were you in college, still in high school?
2006, I graduated.
High school?
High school.
Okay. So, would you have been watching the state Class 5A championship football game on TV when, let's say, you were a freshman, possibly?
No, to be frank with you. No.
You played the game. You didn't watch it quite as much as some.
Yeah, you know. I always watched college and pros, not so much of high school, when I was in high school, unless it was film.
Well, somehow you did a great job learning the game, even though you didn't really watch it all the time. All right, Penson under center now. One back behind him, and he almost kind of pulled out from under the center. And I think he expected the snap a moment ago. Now he sneaks it. And Penson is into the end zone. The two-pointer is good. 14-0. We'll take a quick break, and I'll finish my point of what I was going to ask Brian about when we continue on VypeFortBend.com.
Get ready. Saving starts with Xfinity. Because when you get Xfinity Internet and mobile together, you can save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill over AT&T. Enjoy fast, reliable internet at home and nationwide 5G on the go, included at no extra cost. That means you can connect to everything you love, whether you're a next-level gaming aficionado, an online shopping mastermind, or crushing that research project. So go ahead, stream on all your devices or video chat from anywhere and save hundreds while doing it, because saving starts with Xfinity. Get Xfinity Internet for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year agreement. Plus, add Xfinity Mobile and ask how to get an eligible 5G phone on us. And for a limited time, $300 back. Don't miss out. Go to Xfinity.com/start saving. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit a store today. Internet offer ends 9/30/21 and requires paperless billing and autopay. Restrictions apply. New Performance Starter Plus Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Savings based on optimized pricing. Actual savings may vary.
Okay, we're back. Bush's kickoff return unit is on the field with 4:44 to go in the third. They're now down by 2 scores, 14-0 to the Hightower Hurricanes. Okay, so Bryant, it was either 2003, I think, give or take a year. Are you aware that in Midland, Texas, Midland Lee is a team that I think has won at least 3 state championships? They're the Halves in Midland, Texas. Midland Lee, they used to be the Rebels. I think somebody made them change their name. Cedric Benson played for them in high school and won a couple of state championships. Well, Midland High, they're the have-nots. They're always playing second fiddle to Midland Lee. They can never seem to get over the top. Okay, pause here for the kickoff by Caleb Douglas, left footer. And here's going to be a pretty decent return opportunity for Michael Amodia, but he doesn't get very far. He's tackled stone cold at the 22-yard line. Beautiful special teams work. Jamarian Ferguson, 1st and 10 from the 23. Okay, so Midland High, somehow they had kind of a mediocre season, but they caught fire in the playoffs. They made it all the way to the state championship game. They're playing Converse Judson in the Alamo Dome, and they have a brilliant 2-minute drill drive to score with a half a minute to go and put them up by 4 or 5 points. Hold that thought. 1st and 10 from the 23. Bush down 14-0. Will Hilder start to throw it a little bit more often? Well, he gives it off to Borgella on the first play, spinning off the left side for 5 yards. 2nd down and 5 coming up, and it's Traylon Baloney makes the tackle for Hightower. So basically, Converse Judson is at its 25-yard line. They got to go 75 yards, and they have less than half a minute to do it. But the Midland High cornerbacks come up in press coverage. And the Judson quarterback drops back. You could see his eyes get as big as softballs. My guy is behind everyone. He threw a bomb touchdown. Midland High had already been celebrating. We finally won a state championship, and it was very poor coaching. How could you not tell at least 4 of your guys, go to the 25-yard line and do not let anyone get behind you? In that situation, the Midland Bulldogs should have just said, if you have to interfere, interfere. It's only 15 yards.
Right.
Just make sure no one gets behind you.
Right.
But that Judson receiver just ran a deep post, and there it was, and they just gave away a state championship. It would have been life-changing for people on that side of the railroad tracks in Midland. And they were already celebrating, and then many of the fans didn't even see the play. They were just thinking, wait, what happened? How did the other team score? Never should have happened.
Unfortunate. I don't know if that's a little bit of confidence in your players. Is it ego with, I don't know. That's so weird, but it's common sense, right? It's common sense to back off, tell your players what they need to know, and execute.
All right, so Bush took a timeout before starting this drive. 3:54 to go in the third, and they're down 14-0. And will we see Hilder throwing the ball more often? It's a 2nd down and 6, gives to Borgella, changes his direction near the line of scrimmage and gains a 1st down, goes out to the 35-yard line. That's a pickup for 8. It moves the sticks. That's a 1st down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. And one of the Bush linemen is down, and he may be hurt, but it may just be a leg cramp. I think it is. They kind of got him on his back. Get the leg vertical, bend back the toe, stretch the muscles on the back of the leg.
And it seems like Borgella is a little banged up as well, too.
Yeah, he's been carrying the ball a lot. By the way, I have to say this. I'm not too much into aesthetics, but every once in a while something will kind of jump out at me. Mm-hmm. Do you know what the Converse Judson helmet looks like, the logo on the side?
No, what does it look like?
It's a white J, a skinny J, inside this funny 6-sided weird thing. It's the worst logo in all of sports. They have these gray helmets with this red thing with a little white J. It's awful.
Who creates the logo? Is it?
Well, I don't know. If Converse Judson, as far as I know, they're a fairly young school. I think maybe they opened in the 70s.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, you can't argue with their wonderful record. They have a great, proud tradition under D.W. Rutledge.
And I guess
but an
that's what matters.
awful logo. But, you know, you got a tradition. Those are the teams that keep everything on the uniform the same.
Right.
And there is a run to the left and going nowhere. Donovan Nixon thrown down, number 20, thrown down by his opposite number, Jaden Chibuzo of Hightower, fired into the backfield and set up a 2nd and 15. And if Hightower can come out here and get a 3 and out, by the way, it's a loss of 4, not 5, as I watch where the officials set the ball. You know, if you get a 3 and out here, leading by 14 against a team that has not been able to finish a drive, Hightower would have to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, it's a very important drive for Bush. They have to execute this drive.
2nd and 14 as they go right to left. They are on the left hash mark. Hilder takes the snap, steps up in the pocket, breaks a couple of tackles, and all he can do is run forward for a pickup of 2. And it'll be time to punt. And Traylon Baloney, don't call him meat. He's been playing a great game.
And you know what? When they came out of halftime, Hightower was a little bit defensively not as energized as they are now. Momentum. It's a momentum game, Roger. With football, it's a momentum game. After that deep pass, the turnovers, you could feel the energy with Hightower right now.
All right, this is 3rd down and 13, and we may see Hightower bring an extra pass rusher. My brother-in-law, James Green, has a score, and right on cue, a flag is thrown. I think maybe somebody has a delay of game. Did Bush get called for a delay of game? Yes, they did.
Yeah,
that should not happen. Okay, James, what has he got for me? Oh, he's just got a fun fact. He says that they call the Judson logo the Diamond J, and that D.W. Rutledge, their legendary coach, designed it. So, okay, well, I guess they won't be changing it.
That's a lot of meaning in that logo.
3rd down and 18. Thank you, James.
Oh,
Hilder rolls to his right, had time, near the sideline, throws high and off the hand of his intended target. It's incomplete, and a punt situation coming. And now some quick scores for you. Let's see. I believe it is Cy Creek leading Friendswood, 27-0. Actually, wait a minute. Summer Creek, 27. Friendswood, nothing. Stafford leads Angleton. This is a barn burner, 26-25. The Travis Tigers have not been able to make much progress against the Spring Lions. It's 21-3 Spring in the 3rd quarter. All right, let's see what else. North Shore leading Shadow Creek, 21-10. It's in the 3rd quarter. Fulshire still shutting out the Cleveland Indians. It's 32-0 at the start of the 4th. Ridgepoint still leading Pearland, 27-0. Wow, that is impressive. I'm looking forward to what Ridgepoint can do if they're that good. By the way, we're awaiting the intended receiver on that previous pass play. He jumped up very, very high, and it's Hackworth. Hackworth walking very slowly back across the field toward the Bush bench.
That's the last guy they need to lose.
Yeah, they don't need to lose him. Dickinson leading Manville. Andre Ware's Gators, 27-23. Dickinson is on top. Katy has taken command over Clear Springs. It is 40-7. You know, my brother-in-law James says that Dave Campbell app that's kind of tied in with High School Scoreboard Live, it's been a little bit slow tonight. James Green is what's fast. All right, it is punt time. And getting it away successfully. One bounce on the punt. Are they going to return it? No, there are a bunch of Bush Broncos down there. The orange jerseys kill the ball at the 38-yard line of Hightower. The guy rushing down there to put an end to it was Joakim Nicolau.
Bush needs a turnover. They need some kind of momentum swing. If not, it's going to be tough to get back in this game.
And now, because it is a pre-district game, Brian, I suppose that Hightower will probably play call a little more aggressively. You know, if this was a district game and you're up 14, I would say let's run it and keep two hands on the ball every time, but we might see them throw it a little bit. They may run it a few plays to set up a deep pass. And there is a misdirection play coming around the right end. It did not fool the Bush defense at all. Preston Davis, another great play as Caleb Johnson is dropped for a loss of 3. He started way over on the left side. Little quick fake handoff. He comes quickly from the offensive left to the right, but gets nothing. Actually, almost a 4-yard loss.
A little wide receiver sweep, you know. And Bush defense have been playing great. You take away 2 big plays.
Yeah.
And, you know, we got 0-0.
41 seconds to go in the third quarter, and the clock is ticking. 14-0 Hightower on top. Penson drops back, looking toward the sideline. He's being harassed and throws incomplete. The clock stops with 30 seconds left in the third, and it'll be 3rd and 14 to go.
You would expect probably Hightower to play a little conservative. They don't want to force nothing or, you know, keep relying on their defense, who's having a shutout game today. We'll see.
And depending on what the Hightower offensive coaches see up top, if they think Bush might get aggressive with the pass rush, you could dink a little screen over the pursuit.
Absolutely. Keep the drive going.
And there is a whistle. They started the clock. They shouldn't have, because the previous play was an incomplete pass. The clock should remain unchanged until they snap it. But it was a timeout, Bush. And with 29 seconds to go, we'll take a timeout and be back on VypeFortBend.com.
You remember their first steps. First time they rode a bike without training wheels, first school dance, and now first year they're driving to school. First Tire and Auto is a family business, and they remember all those first too. There's a store just minutes away from your house or the school, so be the first to claim your discounts on oil changes and more. Head to the website firsttireandauto.com. First Tire and Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firsttireandauto.com.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, Office Max, and OfficeDepot.com.
All right, what might be the last play of the third quarter. Penson, quarterback draw, and he is stoned after a 2-yard gain.
A conservative play.
But yeah, that was a good idea. Preston Davis has impressed me with his hard hitting, and I think that is going to be the final play of the third quarter. And when we come back, it'll be 4th down. Actually, we're not going anywhere. I'm just going to tell everybody something really important. Fort Bend County High School Sports on VypeFortBend.com, brought to you this evening by Xfinity, the future of awesome. By Nick's Italian Restaurant on FM 1464 in Sugar Land, just north of Austin High School. At Nick's, their family gets bigger every time you stop by. By First Tire and Automotive, with 4 great locations in Fort Bend County, including Katy Cinco Ranch. They're open Monday through Saturday. Visit firsttireandauto.com. By Archer Volkswagen, 10,400 Southwest Freeway, just inside the Sam Houston Tollway. And as it's been since Robert P. Archer founded it in 1956, Archer Volkswagen is still family-owned and operated, and you'll feel like family when you're there. By the Needville Insurance Agency, Bradley Stavanaugh and his team are your hometown trusted agents. They'll shop around to get you the best rate and make insurance easy for you. Call the Needville Insurance Agency at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com, and by Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace in Sugar Land, helping us take care of business every day so we can bring you the action on VypeFortBend.com every week. How's that for timing, Bryant? 4th and 12, and Hightower snapping it from their own 36-yard line. Caleb Douglas barely gets the punt away, and it's a beauty all the way back to the 26-yard line. And here comes Cormier up the far sideline, and that's a pretty decent return near midfield, just on the Bush side of midfield. And correction, it wasn't Cormier, it was Henry Tatum. You know, did you ever watch the Friday Night Lights television series?
I watched the movie, but not the. Did I watch the series?
I think you'll enjoy the TV series. It's available. You know, there's so many streaming services, and it's very entertaining. Not exactly true to life, but talk about good-looking people.
Yeah.
I mean, nearly all of the characters on that show, they just found like, who's some talented young actor or actress? We're going to put him on the show.
I got to check
But
it out.
one of the characters' name was Voodoo Tatum. I thought of that because Henry Tatum just returned the punt. Hilder fakes the handoff, stands in the pocket too long, and he's sacked for a loss of 2 back to the 41-yard line.
And now they're getting out of character because they're getting desperate.
Yeah, and
right?
coming off the edge, it was Kai-Shun Smith.
They need points immediately.
So they do get a little out of character. There's got to be a little bit of urgency to get the ball out of your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Just wing it to the sideline if you possibly can.
And this is the thing about running offenses. When you get put in this situation, it's like, what do? Do you pass and get out of character? Do you try to run, hope for the gashes? I don't know.
Well, guess who's in taking the snaps now? It's Cormier. So they're looking for a little spark, making a change on the fly, and now we have a flag. And before I saw the flag, I was thinking Hightower probably called a timeout because they want to change their defensive personnel now that Cormier has taken the snaps.
Right.
But we got a timeout, and we'll take it with them. 10:53 to go. It's 14-0. Hightower over Bush.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Hi, this is Mariela and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
Bush ran the ball on second down. Got back to the original line of scrimmage. It's 3rd and 10 from their 43-yard line. There's still time here, Bryant. Yeah. There's 10:15 to go. And there goes Cormier over the right side, slamming ahead, but nowhere near what he needed for a first down. I think it's going to be 4th and 6 as he pushed it forward to the 48, and they appear to be bringing on the punting unit. And if they ran some kind of trickeration here, it really wouldn't be that much of a surprise.
And it's tough. You got 9 minutes, a little bit under 10. I mean, I don't know. It's tough, man. There's just not a passing team.
Udunna ready to punt it away. He's standing at his 35. Only one man back for Hightower. They've had 2 players back previously. It's a low, wobbly punt. It doesn't go very far. Rolling toward the far sideline, outside the numbers, inside the 30. They're kind of trying to fan the ball. Move it down to the 25, and that's where the Broncos kill it. With 9:16 to go, their offense was not able to get any first downs. They had to give the ball back, and now the defense, which has got to be tired, is called upon one more time to try and get the ball back into the offense's hands.
And I'm sure right now the coach is telling them, look, strip the ball. We need a turnover. We have to get a turnover right now to get us back into this game.
Got an update from Spring. It's not good for Fort Bend County. The Travis Tigers now trail Spring 28-3, and Spring is one of the finest teams in the Houston area.
Oh, is that right?
And there is a snap to Penson. Tried to run the quarterback draw, but it didn't fool Bush's defense at all. Let me get credit to the proper person here. That's big number 60, Devin Moore, on the tackle for a loss of 3. Second down and 13, and Hightower taking a little bit more time than they normally do between plays. Penson looking at the play clock, now claps his hands together. He's going to pass, drops back, they protect him. Now he moves to his right, he's going to pull it down and run. First down and more, across the 40, slides down before he gets to the 45. You were thinking a flag and a late
that's what
flag.
I'm thinking too. Okay.
Very, very late flag, but if I were the Bush coaches, I would be very upset with the throwing of the flag because really, and I'm not sure who that was, I think it's number 27, but yeah, it's 27 and he's not on the roster. But basically Penson slid into him. I think he was just kind of, dropping to his knees a little bit. But it is a personal foul against Bush.
And I couldn't see that. What they say is once the quarterback is making the motion to pull off, but the ref's been real lenient with the flags all night.
I know that if a player dives head first, it kind of gives the license to the defense. You can go ahead and hit him.
Absolutely. If
he goes feet first, I guess you're supposed to avoid contact other than, maybe just touch him down with your hands.
And maybe it's different with high school.
So the ball at the 39-yard line. Bush showing a blitz, and the ball is loose. Oh, what a lucky play for Hightower. They maintain possession as Penson, he's being thrown down. The ball squirts out of his grasp because he was hit on the perfectly timed blitz.
Wow.
And yet it came down in his arms for a loss of 12. Loss of 12, don't worry about that. You maintain possession, but that was pretty dang lucky there.
And that's the turnover that Bush needed.
Oh, yeah.
What a lucky break for Hightower.
And we're under 8 minutes now. Hightower taking its time. I think even with it second down, and I'm going to eyeball it and say it's 21 to go. They can just run it. But they're going to throw, but there's a whistle before the snap, and it's a flag. I think maybe a substitution infraction. Somebody had too many men on the field or something.
Oh, that's why they were hurrying. Oh, they gonna call
it's against Hightower.
Oh,
yeah.
false
Usually, see the back judge threw his flag, and usually he's the guy that counts defenders. So since he threw a flag, I was kind of assuming it was too many Bush Broncos on the field, but Hightower is the team that gets penalized.
I was thinking the same. I think that's why Hightower was trying to rush the play, but it ends up being on them.
Bryant, I think I want to talk my wife into going out for a nice little breakfast at a diner somewhere tomorrow morning. I think I'm going to be in the mood for bacon and eggs. Penson dropping back, a little screen pass, and this is going to work a little bit. Hightower near sideline advances the ball to the 42-yard line as they get it to Andreas Misick-Duncombe.
Do you have a location in mind?
Well, I think there's this place called First Watch. It's near the intersection of Highway 90 and Derry Ashford.
Yeah.
It's First Watch, right?
Yeah.
Well, she kind of likes that a little bit better, but every once in a while we go Denny's. Sometimes we go IHOP.
Old school.
Yeah.
There's some news places out there. You should try Snooze.
Snooze?
Snooze.
Where is it?
Snooze is over there by the Galleria.
Okay, we need them to sponsor VypeFortBend.com broadcast of Fort Bend County sports. Penson's going to throw on 3rd and 13, lofts it near sideline, and he just threw it out of bounds. Chambers shows what a great athlete he is. Chambers is a linebacker, but they had him over there very close to Caleb Douglas. Bryce McDonald also out there on defense for Bush, and the incomplete pass is helpful for the Broncos. They still have a little bit of hope with 6:27 to go and down 2 scores. 4th down and Caleb Douglas on to punt.
If it's me, I'm bringing the house. I need a block punt. I have to create a turnover.
And they have put some heat on him. I will say that. Henry Tatum back in deep safety, standing at his 17-yard line with hands on hips. And Bush doesn't look like they're lined up to come with everybody.
I don't understand. I'm literally.
And that's delay of game. Caleb Douglas just wanted to bleed the clock. That he really had no interest, and had probably been instructed by Coach Cornelius Anthony to just let it go, take the 5-yard penalty.
Right. Again, Roger, if it's me, if I'm the defensive coordinator at Bush, I am bringing the house. I will make them change their whole deal to max protection. I'm bringing the house. I need a turnover.
Yeah, well, they're not lined up any differently than they were on the previous, the delay of game. Douglas gets it away, and he booms that thing. He should let that go. He muffs it at the 5, and it's Hightower ball. Now, it can't be a touchdown, I don't think.
Oh, you can't advance.
Because you can't advance it. But Caleb Davis, man, they got a lot of Calebs. Caleb Davis right there as the ball went off the hands of Henry Tatum. Wouldn't you say just let it go? It probably is going to roll into the end zone, but he didn't catch it. It bounces high, and Caleb Davis grabs it, and agony for the Bush Broncos. They've had their chances tonight, but I think that's going to pretty much end the competitive phase of this game.
That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, Bush.
Okay, so 1st and goal at the 5, right where it was grabbed by Caleb Davis. And Penson has Missick Duncombe in the backfield with him. Fakes it to him, fade route, deep corner, incomplete. It was caught, but caught out of bounds. Zion Kearney, by the way, I know you like to slap bugs, but it makes it makes our, speaking of bugs, there's a little bug in our microphone that if you jolt the table, it kind of goes.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's all right.
Forgive me, Roger.
No, it's okay. We have so many little quirks with this set of gear. You did great tonight.
Did I?
By the way, still 6 minutes to go. All right, Penson's going to throw near the goal line on the near side, and the pass is caught at the 1 foot line. Zion Kearney
that was
makes
a catch.
An amazing catch. Bush is saying he didn't catch it. Wow, Penson threw that ball into a mail slot.
He sure did.
And now he sneaks it from the 1 foot line, and is he in? Yes, he is. That's going to be ball game right there. The touchdown makes it 20-0 Hightower, and they'll add the extra point if they can. But Bush is not going to be able to come back from this with 5:41 to go.
It will be a miracle. One of the things I realized about high school football is that there's no review.
Yeah, well, you got to have video replay, and they have that at the state championship games at AT&T Stadium in Arlington.
Okay.
But only in that situation.
Got you.
My brother-in-law James has an update. Fulshire 39-0 in the 4th quarter over the Cleveland Indians. And I have something else to say about Fulshire, as well as Ridgepoint volleyball. And a delay of game on the extra point attempt. Okay, so yesterday, Ridgepoint volleyball, they were in tournament play, and they beat Cibolo Steel. They lost to Weatherford and they beat Dripping Springs in 2 straight sets. They call Dripping Springs Drip. That's just what they call them there over in the hill country. Now, let me find the results that I was seeking for Fulshire volleyball. There we go. They beat Shadow Creek and St. John's in their own tournament yesterday. All right, Pinson is going to throw a pass over the middle, way behind Caleb Douglas on the slant pattern. Incomplete. The try is no good, but no worries for Hightower. They got this game, and they lead it by a score of 20-0. If you're still with us on VypeFortBend.com, we thank you very much. We are your broadcast home for Fort Bend County sports. Tomorrow night, we will have Kempner taking on Dulles right here at Hall Stadium. Countdown to kickoff show starting at 5:45. Patrick Kinnick and me bringing you the action. Kickoff at 6. We'll have volleyball on Tuesday, and I think it's Fulshire and Foster. That's going to be a good one. And then we'll have 3 more football games Thursday, Friday, Saturday of next week. I better not have any emergencies in my life, Bryant. I can't miss any games.
No. And I need you here, Roger.
Yeah.
I need you here. I think I'll be back. I think I'm actually coming back next week.
Yeah,
Thursday.
we're going to have to. I haven't figured out exactly who's going to work which game, but I know you want to work a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, especially the Elkins ones.
You and, yeah. When Elkins plays, you are our Elkins specialist.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Coach B, see what he got dialed up.
Now, James Kovaleski is kind of our Ridgepoint expert, except a lot of the assistant coaches that he worked alongside when he was at Ridgepoint are no longer there. There's been enough turnover. Caleb Douglas kicks it away. And Bush to try and get something here on the kickoff return, and they get across the 30 to the 33. And that is a guy who's had his hands on the football several times, Michael Amodia. By the way, do you watch Jeopardy?
You know what? I have watched it before, but I'm not watching it persistently.
Yeah, well, I watch it all the time, and, of course, I cried when Alex Trebek died. You know, I love the show so much, but they've had several guest hosts, some that I think I would just as soon not look at. But they've had some really good ones, too, and I hope that they will name a permanent host. But there's this guy named Matt Amodio. He's won, I think, 16 days in a row. He is killing it. He's up to, I think, 3rd all-time on the Jeopardy list. Right now they're showing reruns, and they'll have new episodes in a few weeks. Hilder throws, swings it out to Cormier, slips in the backfield, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and just barely does, maybe gains half a yard. Hightower's defense looking like they have some energy back. Skylar Robinson in on the tackle.
You know, Roger, speaking of Jeopardy, I think it brought up in my head because speaking of Jeopardy, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he
Remember
was
that?
great,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
If things did not work out
That's what
between
he said
him
he
and the
was gonna go over
Packers,
there.
he could have a job there.
I didn't get the chance to watch it, but you said he was good, huh?
Yeah, he was excellent.
Oh.
All the hosts, really, I have to say, were pretty good. Hilder throws a quick slant, short gain, 3 yards, maybe. Gets it to Amodia, I believe. No relation to Matt Amodio, the current Jeopardy champion from New Haven, Connecticut.
Oh, you know, Roger, you're so knowledgeable.
Well, Travis has a touchdown, but it's late in the 3rd quarter, and they're down 28-10 to the Spring Lions. You've heard of Parker Washington, plays at Penn State. He's a former Travis Tiger, and I believe he will be a junior this year. He's a great talent, great kid.
You know what? I did hear he was a
he was a highlight reel.
He was a stud.
Every game he's doing something that makes you go, wow. Hilder drops back, and the pocket collapses. Here come the Hurricane defenders, and it's, 4 or 5 guys collaborating on the sack. Give it to Skylar Robinson. And Keishun Smith also in there. 4th and 10. Bush is going to punt, and then I think we're going to see Hightower run the ball 4 times and hopefully head home. Going out to punt for Bush, same guy, Jedediah Uduna. 20-0. Hightower kind of killing them softly in this game, just gently stretching out their lead throughout the game. And Uduna with a low line drive punt caught by one of the short men and gets a nice return to the 45-yard line. It came down in the waiting arms of Jeremy Straughter. So you got any weekend plans you don't mind sharing?
You know, meeting up with a few individuals. You know what? I'll tell you this. I just bought a franchise. It's like an I-9 end zone type deal. And so I'm getting prepared for that, getting things set up with my sports league. But besides that, just work.
Play action pass, quick screen to Caleb Johnson. Down the near sideline, still going, steps out at the 20.
Should he
nice
stay there?
Move.
Oh, the clock is still going. Okay.
Yeah, well, you know, I have noticed that's something that would kind of shock you, Bryant, because, I mean, in my day, it's a high school football game. It doesn't matter what the score is. You time the game accurately. You stop the clock when it should be stopped. But I've just noticed a trend in the games that I have broadcasted. You know, sometimes when they decide that the margin of victory, the issue is settled as far as who's going to win, they'll just kind of let the clock bleed off. There's a give over the left side. First carry of the game for Brendan Eaglin. And he gets, let's see, a couple of yards maybe to the 17. Brendan Eaglin is 5'9", 185-pound junior. Hackworth still out there playing hard, makes the tackle. But we're under 2.5 minutes, and we're just kind of letting it unravel here.
Yeah.
Roger Smith and the newcomer Bryant Nabufi. Up the middle, there goes the man in for the end of the end zone for a touchdown. Brendan Eaglin, if it's not DeCameron Verrett. I think it's Eaglin. Yes, it is. Flying like an eagle into the end zone, and that's going to make this look like a real rout. It's 26-0 with exactly 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, this one's over. It's padding stats now.
All right, so we had a 34-point margin of victory last night. Marshall defeating Eisenhower. Penson throwing the 2-point pass, and it's a slant pattern way out in front of the intended receiver, Caleb Johnson. And there is kind of a skirmish, a little scrum. One of the Bush players is on his back, and a Hightower player giving him the business. I have to confess, I don't know how this started, but there are a lot of flags flying. They're still pushing and shoving. Chambers is really upset. More flags coming in, and coaches furious with their players. Out there saying effectively, come on, man. How can you let this happen?
Yeah.
And I think there's a little bit of animosity for the officials for letting that escalate the way that it did. Still 26-0, and it's time to just kind of let this one end.
Yeah, absolutely. These young men are frustrated, and, you know, the turning point of this game was that 96-yard bomb.
Sure was. And the officials are gathered around a pile of yellow flags at the 15-yard line, and Alan Aldridge is out there. I think he wants to listen in on the conversation. He wants to be as helpful as he possibly can, as this is adjudicated by the officiating crew of Mark Miller. Well, it's going to be a little bit easier to get out of the stadium tonight, Bryant, because I think some folks are walking toward the exits.
Absolutely.
In fact, this game, it's looking like it's going to be called. The players are going to the locker room, and now there are whistles as if the officials are saying, hey, we didn't call anything. And now Aldridge is gesturing to his players. It looked like maybe I don't know if he's pointing, go to the field house, or.
This is weird.
I mean, this really is weird.
And again, Raj, I'm new with.
Yeah, well, this just I watched hundreds of football games, from the time I was in elementary school, and in the old days I just didn't see them do this.
Yeah.
And Coach Cornelius Anthony and Alan Aldridge, with a lot of respect for each other. Well, did Mark Miller, the referee, just say to reset the clock? Well, he did, but the Broncos players are leaving the playing surface.
Is this like a forfeit?
Well, I mean,
the game is over, but
wow, this is kind of bizarre.
No good game.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, let me read the names of our fine sponsors. That's always important to do. We thank them so much. Fort Bend County High School Sports on VypeFortBend.com has been brought to you tonight by Xfinity, the future of awesome. By Nick's Italian Restaurant on FM 1464 in Sugar Land, just north of Austin High School. At Nick's, their family gets bigger every time you stop by. By First Tire and Automotive, with 4 great locations in Fort Bend County, including Katy Cinco Ranch. They're open Monday through Saturday. Visit firsttireandauto.com. By Archer Volkswagen, 10,400 Southwest Freeway, just inside the Sam Houston Tollway. And as it's been since Robert P. Archer founded it in 1956, Archer Volkswagen is still family-owned and operated, and you'll feel like family when you're there. By the Needville Insurance Agency, Bradley Stavanaugh and his team are your hometown trusted agents. They'll shop around to get you the best rate and make insurance easy for you, no matter where you live. Call the Needville Insurance Agency at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. And by Office Depot, Southwest Freeway at Williams Trace in Sugar Land, helping us take care of business every day so we can bring you the action on VypeFortBend.com every week. And our final score is 26-0. And Bryant Nabufi, you get the last word before we tell everyone good night.
Roger, thank you so much for getting me out here. It was beautiful, not just watching this game, but actually commentary on this game was wonderful. I look forward to the next game.
All right, and our next game, which will be Patrick Kinnick and me, will be tomorrow night, and it's Dulles and Kempner with a 6 o'clock kickoff. So our countdown to kickoff show will come your way at 5:45. So until then, for everyone on the Vype team, thank you so much for being with us. I also want to thank our QA, Trey Grubb, Merle Bertrand, Suna Venkat back in the studio, and James Kovaleski for some great information he gave me today. Good night, everybody. 26-0. Hightower beats Bush, and we will see you tomorrow night.